I'm Arthur Moats, and I'm here to tell you about my new book, The Moats Theory of Life. If you haven't picked up a copy yet, I strongly encourage you to. This book not only is a fun read, but it's a guide to helping you become a person of impact and inspiration. If you are ready to take the next step to improving not only your life, but those around you as well, go get a copy of The Moats Theory of Life, and it's available at moatstheory.com. What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, dude?
Man, shout out to the fit, bro.
How about that?
Bro, and all right. You know how I feel about Steph Curry. We share a birthday, so we're indirectly connected, right?
Really?
Yeah, March 14th, man. Actually, same year, too. It's crazy. We're like twins.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but with Curry, man, you know, when they were trying to compare him to LeBron, I felt some type of way about him for a while. Even though I was a fan of him when he was at Dayton, and obviously wife is from the Bay, so we watched the Warriors, and I feel a little torn every time. But now I think I'm in a better place, and I like the classic throwback right there, man. That shows like you were pre-bandwagon, Durant and all that stuff, man. That's back with Baron Davis and Monte Ellis.
I'm not that big of a Curry fan.
Just saying, I like the jersey.
Though, I do like Curry just from the standpoint of, I mean, him bringing in Durant just kind of goes to show you what he's all about. He's about the winning. He doesn't care about where do I stack up.
Even though technically they said that it was Draymond. They got Durant to come. Yes.
No.
Swear. They said.
Wait, where are you hearing this from?
Durant and Draymond themselves.
No way.
Yes, they said so. The year when LeBron came back 3-1 to beat the Warriors,
right.
They said as soon as the series ended, Draymond was the first person he called was Durant. Said, "Yo, I need you." Called him up, pleaded with him multiple times. Then after that, remember they all flew out to I think it was the Hamptons where Durant was at to like give him the full court. Look, bro, we need you to come, man. We gotta have you here, man. If you come here, bro,
it was all three of them, man.
Mm-hmm. But Draymond was the leading force behind it.
No way.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Man, see, I don't know too much about the story. For whatever reason, I remember Curry sending him text, maybe. It's either text or them meeting one-on-one, and Curry saying...
That was all after the fact, though. Like, literally, as soon as they lost, they said Draymond, that's the first person he called. Durant.
No way.
Yeah, because you remember, that was the year that they had... that Durant was up 3-1 on them in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, they blew it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
See, I didn't think Draymond, because Draymond was the reason he left then.
No, but the thing was, they said Draymond's just so passionate like that, though. Like, literally, they say if you know Draymond, you love him. Or you gonna hate him. There's, like, no in between with him. So, literally, it was, like, the thing that Draymond would do because he was the main reason why he came, just the conversation, like, they say he's not gonna, like, sugarcoat anything with you. So, if he feels like you're playing soft, he's gonna call you out on it. Which is what we saw during the game. That you saw the big sideline spat between him and Durant. That's what it was all about. Like, if he feels some type of way, he's gonna get it off his chest. So if you are with that type of guy, you like it. If you're not the type of person that wants that type of direct criticism, you're gonna have an issue to it or take offense to it.
That's interesting. Yeah. I did not know that.
Yes, bro. Shout out to, and like I said, and for a while I was anti Draymond too. But the more I like followed him and look into his story a little bit more, I'm like, all right, I can respect it. I understand this stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing with some of these players. There's a year, maybe 2-3 year stretch where you can be a hater with them, but if they keep putting out consistent production, you just got to respect it. Exactly, 100%.
Yes, indeed, man.
So, dude, I appreciate the shout out.
No doubt, man.
Speaking of NBA, though, we were talking a little bit before we got on the mic, and I'm thinking the NBA season's coming back.
Yeah. I don't agree with that.
That's all. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm positive. And
is that one of your hot takes? Is that
it's not a
hot take?
No, I just want to let people know things are pointing in a good direction from all the reports I'm seeing, because there's a lot of doom and gloom out there. There's a lot of negativity. So I'm trying to look at the positive, and it looks like an NBA season's happening from my standpoint.
Whatever you say, man.
LeBron saying there's not going to be closure. He's not going to feel like there's closure.
Yeah, if the season were to just be canceled completely, that doesn't mean that it's about to be played. That's all I'm saying, man.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like LeBron, because you a headline guy. You got to read the rest of the article. We talked about this the other day, too. The rest of what LeBron was saying was he wouldn't feel closure if the season were to just be canceled. Like, and just not going to happen no more. Not, hey, it could be in July, even August, for example. He was just simply saying, like, if they just say the season's canceled, because that's what some executives were flirting with the idea of doing because of the uncertainty of when this thing is going to officially be cleared out. He was just saying in response to that, like, look, man, if they just canceled the season completely, I'm not going to have closure with that, because it's like always the what if of, man, like, was this the year that we could have won one? Or will we have lost one? Who knows? But him not knowing was going to be the reason behind it, man. Come on, D.
That's what I mean, July, August.
No, you said June just a second ago.
I'm hoping. But just in general, I think the NBA is going to come back.
I mean, we're hoping that at some point in this calendar year, but even, for example, the school system's right today. Schools officially counts for the rest of the school year. So, yeah, you take it how you want to take it, man. That's not saying that the following year, in terms of the following school year, August, September, is canceled. But who knows? I mean, it was for a while. No one thought this day would come. But same people didn't think it was going to be a quarantine. Same people didn't think we'd be locked down for 1 week, 2 weeks.
See, I didn't say it on the mic, and it's just going to sound like, oh, wow, you're just saying it because it happened. But I did feel like there's no reason to go back to school, though, in my opinion.
Okay.
We differ on the importance of school, but... So that would have been early June. So I think once June, July, August hit this.
I just like how it started out a hard June. It's coming back. Now it's then tapped into July. Now you're playing with August. Next I'm here September.
Well, they said they want the conclusion by Labor Day, which would be perfect for fans and everyone involved, because once the NBA season's ending, NFL season is hopefully starting up. That could be an epic run, man, because I think they're moving the golf majors to around that time period too, late summer, Masters in November. Come on.
I'm not even about to get my hopes up for that, man, because all you're setting yourself up for is failure right there, bro. Because at the end of the day, remember also what the President Trump did say, man, I wanted everything opened up by Easter. And then he was like, you know what? We can't do Easter, because if we come out before we have an official victory, acting like we won, then we're only going to set ourselves back even further. So with that being the case, I'm not even about to sit here and act like June, July, or August is guaranteed, when who knows how this thing is going to continue to play out. I mean, just every day it seems like we're getting more information about something. Every single day, we're getting the reports. Oh man, this university has worked on the vaccine. Oh, now they're testing it. Oh, now this university, they're working on something. Oh, now this doctor's working on something. It's a whole bunch of, everybody has an opinion, everybody has an idea, but at the end of the day, we haven't got the results yet. So until we start seeing results in a positive light, why am I about to sit here and start thinking about, oh man, it's definitely going to happen right here, or it's a strong possibility it can happen right here, when we haven't got step A done yet?
I'm hearing cases, I don't know about deaths, but cases are going down though, at least.
I don't know what you're hearing, bro.
Listen, coward. Call him coward. He's giving me the info. So
fair enough.
Because I'm not gonna go to the actual news for my news. Whatever he's whatever he's saying. No, whatever I hear in bypassing from my sports, that's what I'm gonna go by.
Interesting, bro.
And he's positive. So
interesting. Fair enough, man. But hey, this isn't a politics show. This isn't a health show. So I ain't even about to go down that line.
No, we don't have to.
Nuh-uh. But what we are gonna go down the line
what's so funny, man?
Decade team, baby.
What's so funny, dude?
Hey,
what's so funny?
You know what? I was just looking at this all decade team,
right?
And I felt like, you know what we should start at? We should start right at the top of the list with quarterbacks. I was just saying, because I know how much you love to talk quarterbacks. It's kind of like, why wait, right?
I'm good with that, dude.
So the way we're gonna do this, and for those that aren't aware of what we're talking about, the NFL officially released an all-decade team from the 2010 season on, and it consisted of every position you could think of: quarterbacks, running backs, flex position, corners, safeties, DBs. They even got coaches up here. Okay. Yeah. And it doesn't matter the conference.
They got it all. Yeah,
and it's not and it's not all even in terms of 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 3 receivers. They're kind of, I think this is 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 4 receivers, a flex. So it's kind of all mixed in here the way they did it. But what me and Deke are gonna do now, first, I'll just read off the names on the offensive side, because we'll start on, because I know you love to start offense, and we'll start with the quarterbacks.
And here's the thing. I know I texted you last night. I was like, hey, do you want to just have our own all-decade list? And I'm assuming there's a lot of guys we have on here that are the same. So there's going to be some dispute. So I'm assuming we're going to more or less talk about who we think should be on and who should be off, as opposed to.
I was already planning that, man. I know you a thinker. Cool. I was like, Deke's about to overthink this thing. I didn't even. I literally had the same people in my mind that I was going to make some adjustments and tweaks to the list.
That's who you have arguments for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not worried about this fool. I know
He's
how
saying
you get.
That's because I was going through it. I'm like, man, like there's some guys I don't really have an argument against, and I'm just gonna keep them on. So
we know how it is, Deke, man. You get excited sometimes,
well,
man.
I just think for marketing and social purposes, like, okay, we could both have our list that we post.
But technically, we both will have our list. Okay. Because we're gonna have some tweaks. I'm sure my tweak might gonna be a little different than your tweak.
Yeah.
But either way, once we put our tweaks in there, then you make your graphics, and then we post them on the gram, wherever else, TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. Deke keep getting me on the Explore page. My daughter just walks in every day like, Dad, you're on TikTok.
Were you on again?
Yeah, she's like, Dad, you're on TikTok. I'm like,
Which
bro,
one?
I forgot to post. I don't even remember.
There's ones that cook, man.
Yeah, she was like, Dad, you're on TikTok again. I'm like, for what? What did I do? Dad, look, this video right here. I'm like, oh, shout out to Deke.
Dude, those things cook.
Yeah, man. Because, I'm like the worst right now with TikTok. But that's for another debate, another story. But to start out this list, man, oh, man. All right. So they had 2 quarterbacks listed up here. Obviously, they don't care about the conference. Just 2 quarterbacks. Tom Brady. He was a unanimous selection, by the way. Tom Brady was.
Yep.
And then they had Aaron Rodgers as the second quarterback. So Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers were the 2 quarterbacks. The running backs they had were Frank Gore, Marshawn Lynch, LaShawn McCoy, Adrian Peterson, who was also a unanimous selection. For the receivers, they had Antonio Brown, Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson. Ooh, shout out to Calvin. And then Julio Jones. For the flex position, they went with Darren Sproles. For tight end, they had Rob Gronkowski and Travis Kelce. Offensive line or offensive tackles, they had Jason Peters, Tyron Smith, Joe Staley, Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas was a unanimous selection. Shout out to Joe. And then at the offensive guard position, they had Jari Evans, Logan Mankins, Zach Martin, and Marshall Yanda. Marshall Yanda was a unanimous selection. And then at the center position, Alex Mack and Marquise Pouncey. Shout out to Pounce. I might as well just go do the defense too, huh? I guess. Y'all want to hear the defense?
Sure. All
right, so on defense, they had at the defensive end, Calais Campbell, Cameron Jordan, Julius Peppers, and J.J. Watt, who was a unanimous selection. At defensive tackle, they had Geno Atkins, Fletcher Cox, and Aaron Donald. Held a pit. He was a unanimous selection as well. Yeah. And then Ndamukong Suh. At linebacker, they had Chandler Jones, Luke Kuechly, Khalil Mack, Von Miller, who was a unanimous selection, Bobby Wagner, and Patrick Willis. Personal fan favorite of mine. Cornerback position, they had Patrick Peterson, Darrelle Revis, Richard Sherman. At safety, they had Eric Berry, Earl Thomas, and Eric Weddle. And then at defensive back, it's kind of like just a wild card equivalent of like the flex. Yeah. They went with Chris Harris Jr. and Tyrann Mathieu. Then specialists, because specialists do matter. The 2 punters, they went with Johnny Hecker and Shane Leckler. Yeah. And then at kicker, they had Steven Gostkowski and Justin Tucker, who was a unanimous selection. Punt returners, they had Tyreek Hill and Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles up here twice. Shout out to him. And then at kick return, they had Devin Hester and Cordell Patterson. The head coaches, they had Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll.
Yep.
All right, so let's start with this quarterback position, man. How you feeling about that right there, man? Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
2 great quarterbacks.
Best of this decade, huh?
Nah, I'm good on that.
Okay, you want me to go first with who I would switch out? I would love to hear who you would switch out.
I'm not switching out Brady for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, who are you switching out? The Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
For who? Got to be Breeze, right?
No, I'm putting the GOAT in there. I got to put 7 in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Over Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees?
Yeah, I'd take him over those 2.
Okay. And why is this?
It's my list.
Because I was hoping you were going to say that. I really was. Because for me, man, Tom Brady definitely stays on the list. I agree with you 100%.
He's on there.
Yeah. But I need to hear more.
Did you listen to that interview?
I did not. Not yet.
Dude, it's incredible. And if anyone, just real quick side note, the Howard Stern interview that's circulating around Brady, like it's awesome. Like it's just.
I saw some of the clips, man. He was talking about everything.
Yeah, you get everything, but then just how he thinks and his mentality. It's lot of self improvement. I know we like that
Yeah.
type of stuff, and it's really good, man. Really
Shout
good.
out to Tom.
Yeah. So
Shout
I just
out
wanted
to
to put
Tom.
that plug in there for him because
Unanimous.
I was really impressed.
All decade selection.
Yeah, he's in there.
So yeah, so tell me why, Aaron? Because I mean, when we look at the numbers, Aaron Rodgers has a Super Bowl this decade. Aaron Rodgers passing stats
They're pretty good.
in direct comparison to 7. I was just wondering.
They're cute. They're cute stats.
I'm just trying to figure out how you about to make this argument. Are we going touchdowns, QBR, passing yards, interceptions, Super Bowls? Where we going?
I'm saying
Because his Super Bowl that Aaron Rodgers won this decade was against who? So let me hear this, please. Yes.
what's so funny?
I just need to hear your reasoning why. Why? How, Sway? How does Ben make this list? Please, you let me know.
Man.
Because I got an adjustment in the quarterback room. I definitely do, but I just need to hear why you say Ben though, man.
It's my list. And I want Ben over those two. It's simple as that.
That's interesting.
What do you mean?
That's interesting. Even if you were to put Ben over Aaron Rodgers, which I completely disagree with, you can't put Ben over Drew Brees. Drew Brees belongs on this list.
He's a stat pattern, man.
You call it what you want, man.
He's a stat pattern.
You call it what you want. He could ball.
He can ball. Ben can ball too. That's why I'm just taking him
I'm
over
just
those
saying, because when we
QBs.
look at these numbers from Drew Brees,
Ben's underrated. These guys get a little overinflated.
In this decade, 345 touchdown passes, 127 interceptions, 46,000 passing, or 46,770 passing yards to be exact, and 9 Pro Bowls just in this generation. Just in this decade since 2010. Not to mention he was the 2011 NFL Offensive Player of the Year.
There's a lot of time out, dude. Time out. There's a lot of
and I was gonna say
so below average winning seasons that Brees was putting up.
All I'm saying is this: they both got the same amount of Super Bowls and Super Bowl appearance. Or excuse me, Ben got the 1 Super Bowl appearance this decade, right, in 2010.
Yeah.
But other than that, they pretty much identical in terms of playoff wins and playoff appearances, AFC Championship or NFC Championship games.
I think the regular season wins sways toward Ben, or
regular
season winning percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving me stats which are cool. I mean,
so help me out, because are we talking the Saints versus the Steelers, or are we talking Ben versus Drew Brees?
Well, I'm just taking Ben, dude.
I'm just saying under what circumstance, because the stats are efficiency, passing efficiency. Drew Brees blows Ben Roethlisberger out the water.
The team was. Here's what I'm gonna go back to my man Santonio and his his whole thing.
But what decade was that?
No, I'm
when
not.
Tom was playing. No. What decade was that?
What do you mean? No, I'm not.
You're about to say when Santonio said we knew that Ben could light it up and could score right away, right? But we would ask him, hey, we don't need to do that right now, right? That was a totally different decade. We all know in 2010, that was Ben's team. We all know in 2010, Ben has led the league in passing attempts. He slings it.
Over timeout. Over the past, maybe 2 or 3 years,
since 2010 on. Look at the passing attempts. That's all I'm saying. He slings
it. No way. Brees is 500 times more passing attempts than him.
All I'm saying is, from an efficiency standpoint, though, we're talking efficiency with it. Drew Brees blows Ben Roethlisberger out the water.
But I know you want to talk about the interceptions that Ben had. Dude, Brees had some double-digit years of interceptions there,
I'm glad you said that, because I was hoping you would. You ready for this?
Yes.
So pull up. So Ben's double-digit pick seasons, right? He had since 2010.
We're talking
hurt. 2010?
No,
don't say he's been hurt. Don't say that.
He has been hurt for
Come
some
on,
seasons.
bro. Stop that.
That's why his stats aren't. He doesn't do the attempts.
That,
he doesn't have the attempts. Brees has.
Cut it out.
And he's been hurt.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? The double-digit seasons that Brees has. So Brees is worst passing.
So you're putting Brees in there too.
It's not even close.
Okay.
So literally the worst year that Brees has had since this decade. 33 touchdowns, 22 picks. That was his absolute worst one.
Yeah.
Since then, 46 touchdowns, 14 picks. 43 touchdowns, 19 picks. 39 touchdowns, 12 picks. 33 touchdowns, 17 picks. Shoot, that's like an average year for Drew Brees, and that was one of Ben's best years, right?
Dude, but what's
What's
the team records,
what?
man?
What?
What's the team records as you're going through these?
Let's see.
7 and 8,
11 and
9.
5, 13 and 3, 7 and 9, 11 and 5, 7 and 9, 7 and 8, 7 and 9, 11 and 5, 13 and 2. And then obviously he was hurt this year. Drew Brees was.
Yeah.
And he still went 8 and 3 in his games.
It was a good year, yes. Seeing a lot of 7 and 9s in there.
Did either of them do any big winning though, according to you?
I mean, it was just it was an off decade.
Who did big winning?
It was an off decade for the playoffs with those two. Big
winning since 2010. Brady
did. That's why he's on the list.
We're talking exactly. Brady was unanimous, but we're talking Breeze versus Roethlisberger right now.
Right.
So please help me understand who did more big winning between those two.
Big winning?
According to you, right? Big winning?
I don't really know. They both have lost in the playoffs. They both have had average to below average defenses at points.
Okay.
I just take Ben, dude.
Okay.
I just would. It's my list, and I don't feel bad about it.
Hey, whatever you say, man.
Because you could give me the stat. I truly, and this is something that I've used in the argument for the all-time.
Now you don't want to talk stats. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Now you don't want any other time you bring it up stats.
Because he's
QBR. look at who led the league in touchdowns. You know how many years in this decade? Let's look at the decade. How many times? Let's see. In this decade, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times Drew Brees led the league in passing yards and twice in passing touchdowns. That was only in this decade.
The reason I don't need stats
he's led the league. He's led the league 3 times in this decade in passing completion.
He's a stat percentage.
I'm just saying, bro.
I told you that stat pad.
Oh, now it's not
indoors.
Stat
come on, how the offense is run.
How many more excuses you gonna make?
I'm just telling you.
How many more excuses you want to make for your boy?
I mean,
how many more excuses do you want to make for your boy?
I'm not making excuses for
Excuse
my boy.
King is back. The excuse king is back. I knew you were gonna get up here and say, I knew it. Oh my, bro, are you serious right now?
I'm taking Ben over those two. I just am, dude. I just am.
Okay, fair enough.
It's my list, and
hey,
Ben's in my all-decade team.
Shout out to your list, then, bro. All I'm saying is my quarterback will beat your quarterback. Then, if that was the case,
I don't think, dude.
The numbers speak for themselves.
I don't think, dude. If I'm starting a franchise, I'm taking Ben.
Okay, I'll take Breeze.
I just am, dude.
That's fine. I'll take Breeze.
Breeze got the stats. He's padding them, so that's all.
So what's Ben's then? So when Ben led the league in passing attempts, what was that?
He's winning games.
No. When Ben led it, because when he led the league in passing attempts, he didn't make the playoffs.
Wasn't his fault, man.
How many more excuses you got for this guy?
It wasn't his fault, but they still went 9-6-1 when Breeze was leading the league in all of his passing stats.
And don't say the year
9-6-1 is different than 7-9.
Let's see. Since 2010, so in 2011, Drew Brees led the league in passing yards. They were 13-3 that year. The year, let's see, he had 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, he did have 4 years where they were 7-9, 7-8, 7-9, without a doubt. He had 3 7-9 years and 1 7-8 year. That's completely fine. I totally agree. I agree with you on that. But all I'm saying is, whose numbers were better? So you mean to tell me this? He's lighting it up even with a bum squad.
Bum squad? No, the
7-8, 7-9 is a bum team, right?
No.
What?
Defense, dude. I mean,
so he did it without a defense.
What? No, but there's also something to be said what Holmes said, man. I mean, flow of the game, winning football.
No, that was 2 different decades. What? We already talked about how if you played in 2007, 8, 9, it was a totally different style of game. Even 2010 was a totally different style of game. It was more, we're going to run the ball, use the fullback. 2010 and on, man, they throw that thing. We all can agree with that. So don't try to give me that excuse, baby. Come on.
No, Ben wasn't. Dude, his attempts were lower.
Hey, all I'm
his
saying
attempts
is,
were
man,
lower.
what are the numbers saying?
Huh?
What are the numbers
His
saying?
attempts were lower.
And his interceptions were higher.
Huh?
His numbers were lower. His attempts were lower. Interceptions were higher.
No. Not raw stats.
What
they aren't, dude. You just named off. Come on.
What?
You just named off how many seasons that Brees had double-digit interceptions like that.
Tell me when he's throwing for 40 touchdowns? Really?
Hey, man. They're losing games, too, on top of that.
Hey, bro, you funny. I knew you were going to get up here and say that. You funny.
I'm sticking with my list, man.
Hey, bro, that's
Big
cool,
Ben's
man.
on my all-decade list.
Those
are the 2 quarterbacks I would want over anyone in the last decade.
That's
just how it is.
Wow.
What?
Just looking at Ben's numbers right here, man, compared to Breeze.
I'll take the wins.
Man. Ben got some 7-6, 8-8, some 7-4, some 9-6-1s, and we not even gonna count this last one. No, you said you would take the wins.
Huh?
That's what you said. You're gonna take the wins, and all I'm saying is
he's been hurt though too. That's why the numbers aren't as gaudy, man.
How many more excuses do you have? I'm looking at these numbers right here, these win-loss records. How many excuses are you going to give me today, man? Come on.
He doesn't have a losing season in there, so. I'm not seeing a losing season. Wow. I'm not seeing one.
Shout out to Tomlin.
What do you mean, dude?
I'm just saying, shout out to Tomlin.
I mean, Tomlin is a good coach.
Yeah.
I will say that. Sean Payton's a good coach, though, too.
Hey, that's all I'm saying, bro.
I mean, what do you mean? You're saying all Tomlin on this? Come on. The defense wasn't there, dude. The defense wasn't there.
Hey, man. You said wins and losses. I just pulled up wins and losses. Then you tried to say it was this. You just keep moving this goalpost. So I'm just trying to figure out where we're going to next, man.
I'm saying it's my list, and I want Ben over those two. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, fair enough, man. It's your list. You can have it the way you want to have it, bro. We already talked about our differences and how we would construct the roster. We talked about that, right? One's more efficient, one's a little more high risk, high reward. So it's all good, bro.
See, because when it comes down to it, that's what I'm gonna say. It's my list, and I want Ben. I knew you were gonna come at me, give me reasons, give me this and that, and I gotta come out swinging. So that's all.
So that's your punch. You going to it.
I gotta give my best effort out here.
Just go with it, bro. That's my guy. That's why I want him. Period. That's cool, bro. I got you.
But I do think there is something to what I'm saying. Stat padding.
I know, because you say the stat padding argument, but then when we point to Ben's last full season, you can say that was stat padding. But you won't say that then.
I don't think it was.
So what's the difference? That's what I'm saying. Please explain that difference to me.
He had to do what we had to do to win, man.
And what was Breeze doing?
Huh?
Because both of them ended up with the same result, not making the playoffs.
He wanted to be a fantasy god or something. I don't know what he was
trying
to
So what was Ben doing then?
No, he wasn't going. He doesn't care about fantasy. He doesn't care about stats like that. You hear him in his interviews. He doesn't.
We're not going there.
And I'm not saying
we are not about to go there today.
That's not to rip on Breeze, because I do think Breeze is the winning type of quarterback.
Hey, we just say he's humble. He doesn't talk a lot.
I know, right? He doesn't.
I do. Day like you were. Right?
I do like Breeze off the field.
Hey,
yes,
man, it's great, dude.
Breeze does have all those characteristics.
Yeah,
yes.
man, come on, bro.
I'm taking Ben. I need a win. I'm taking Ben.
Whatever you say,
We're
bro.
talking about wins though too here,
and we pulled them up.
I've seen some 7 and 9s.
We pulled them up.
I've seen some 7 and 9s.
We pulled them up.
And to use your argument against you, what some choke jobs in the playoffs is recently. Even though I didn't think that last week, now all of a sudden they're choke jobs. So.
Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Real interesting. All I'm saying is this. So Breeze had 4, we'll say, really bad subpar season, right? 7 and 9, 7 and 9, 7 and 8, 7 and 9. You look on Ben's side, he's got 1 7 and 6. He has an 8 and 8, and he has a 7 and 4. The 9 6 and 1. At the end of the day, he didn't make the playoffs, so you could throw that in there as well. And then obviously this past year he got hurt, so we just gotta throw that out.
Those were winning seasons.
All I'm saying is,
outside of the 8 and 8.
All I'm saying is, did any other years go to the playoffs?
What?
Did he do any big winning? Did he go to the playoffs?
Neither of them did. We both agree.
So it sounds like they're identical.
Identical.
That's
I'm gonna take Ben.
No, in
I'm
terms
gonna
of
take
wins
Ben.
and losses, identical. Because you're trying to say, man, Breeze got some stank jobs out here. Look at these years. At least in those bad winning season years, those bad or the losing season that Breeze had, his numbers, I mean, he led the league in passing yards. And he didn't do it while leading the league in passing attempts. Because that's what we said with Ben. Ben led the league in passing yards in 2018, but he led the league in passing attempts.
Breeze has had ones where he's led the league in both yards and attempts.
So look, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's led the league in passing yards this decade 5 times. He's led the league in passing attempts only twice during those times.
Who the hell?
You tell me. But in terms of completion percentages, in terms of completed passes, he's led the league 3 times in completed passes.
I'm actually interested though. Who has more attempts than him?
I don't know. You tell me, because this would have been
he's
11, 12.
He's definitely in the top 2 or 3 all of those years. Though. Ben is not in the top 2 or 3.
I'm just reporting
the passing
news,
attempts.
I'm just
over the past decade.
All I'm saying is this, man.
Outside of the last year, probably the past 4 or 5 years, he's definitely been in the top 5.
Check this out. We'll go 14, right? 2014, Drew Brees had 659 passing attempts. He completed 456 of those. 2014. Ben Roethlisberger, 2014. He had 608 passing attempts. Only completed 408 of those.
Dude, he dumps off to his running back.
Oh, my God. So if anything, if he dumps, you talking to Ben?
No, Breeze.
Oh, my God.
That's all he does, man. He just little dink and dunks.
So Deke and Duncan gonna get you to lead the league in passing yards. That's what we talking about now.
Yeah, his guys have speed. The offense got a lot of space to it. He's in a dome, dude.
How? What does the dome got to do with anything? How?
It improves his stats.
How?
So, huh?
How?
It does. It does all of that.
How?
He's dumping them off, and the guy gets 20 or 30 yards. A Reggie Bush or a Kamara.
What?
Darren Sproul, like these guys. It's what
you're funny.
It's what Breeze does, dude. That's what he does.
You're funny. I will say
good
this
for
though.
him. Good for him.
Time. I will say this though. When we look at the two All Pro or the two All Decade players that Ben and Breeze had, right? Ben has AB on his list. We know the numbers AB put up. Darren Sproles is the only guy for Drew Brees. And we can agree that Darren Sproles' numbers compared to AB's numbers not even close. So I understand the running back argument you're trying to make. All I'm simply saying is, man, AB is a big reason to why them numbers.
Jimmy Graham for a 4 or 5 year stretch.
Jimmy Graham's not even up here.
No.
Jimmy Graham isn't even up there.
What I'm saying.
What are you saying?
He had Jimmy Graham for a good 3, 4, 5 year stretch, and then he had Michael Thomas, who borderline should actually be on this list.
Nah, over who?
Dude, I know.
Who?
He only had 4 years, but that's...
No, that doesn't matter because Tyreek Hill is up here. He's only had a couple years.
As a punt returner, though.
He's still up here.
Because no one else is good. I mean...
Tyrann Mathieu up here as a DB. He's only been in the league, I think, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, so...
Eric Berry's up here. He's only played probably 5 or 6 years. You know, he got hurt. He had the cancer thing. He's missed plenty of years.
Right.
So don't use that excuse, man. Michael Thomas hasn't played long enough.
It's the only reason Fitzgerald's on this list is because of his longevity. It is.
Cut it out, bro.
It is.
Don't be blasphemous, bro.
Because he hasn't had years like Michael Thomas. He hasn't, dude. He just hasn't,
bro. And he's been doing it with a joke at quarterback.
I agree with you on that.
I agree with you on that.
But dude, you can't knock Michael Thomas.
You can't knock Larry Fitzgerald either.
I'm not.
You just tried to though.
That's the reason he's on the list. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Nah, bro. His numbers speak for themselves.
He's a Hall of Famer, hands down. First ballot.
So he's okay then. So what we talking about?
All decade. I mean, he had
since 2010. Dude, he's been on a tear. What are you talking about?
I'd put Hopkins or Green probably over him.
Sound like a hater, bro.
I'm not a hater. Dude, he went to Pitt. I like Fitz,
man.
Sounds
like a hater, bro.
I'm just telling you my list.
It sounds like a hater, bro.
You're keeping Fitz.
Bro. It's cool. Absolutely, I'm keeping Fitz.
You're keeping Fitz.
What?
Are you doing?
I haven't even. All right, so you go with. So we're gonna agree to disagree that you gonna throw Ben up there over Aaron Rodgers, which, like I said, Aaron Rodgers' numbers. He has the big winning, the Super Bowls. You know, your big winning. He checks the box and everything you want to go on. So you're going to throw him over him. Okay, cool. But over Breeze, I really ain't get you. I can't agree with you on that.
I don't want to say this because Mendenhall was on a tear this weekend.
I saw him. Hey.
But hey, the Mendenhall fumble.
But didn't he score a touchdown in that game too?
He did.
Oh, okay. We're just going to leave that part of the story out. That's fine. Yeah, blame it on Mendenhall. Mendenhall scored a touchdown. If Mendenhall doesn't score that touchdown, what are we looking at?
We had
if
momentum.
If Mendenhall doesn't score the touchdown, what are we looking at?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I mean, I think we could have snuck it in or something. I can't remember what the touchdown was, to be honest with you.
It was a touchdown. It counts the same. Touchdown. That's all I'm saying, bro. Stop it.
Listen, I just said that as a joke.
Hey. You over here just...
No, legit, I said that as a joke.
I'm just reaching right now for all my podcast listeners, reaching up in the air. This is Deke doing your reaching. He Stretch Armstrong right now. I almost had it. Just think Geico commercial. $1 bill. Oh, you almost had it. Better luck next time. It's cool, bro.
I'm taking Ben, dude.
That's cool, man.
Well, I did want to ask you about the whole Mendenhall thing. What did you think of that?
I think he's letting the people get to him, man.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely got a point.
Yeah. But you know how it is, man. People
it was funny. Like, it's...
like, the thing is this, man. The fans do like to think that they care about the games a lot more than the players do. And I can tell you for a fact, it's not even close. Like, players care way more about these games than the fans do because we invest so much more than the fans do. Fans, obviously, you put your money in it. Emotionally, you're connected. But for the players, money, emotional, physical, what you give up in terms of being with your family.
Got to be team, too, letting your team down.
Like, it's emotional. Like, bro, it's so much more on the player. That's why, like, for me, I never really got caught up in what a fan would say if it was something negative because I'm like, you don't understand. You're not a part of my daily journey. So you can never comprehend it fully. I can tell you, but you still won't comprehend it. So for me to see Mendenhall kind of react like that, especially 10 years later, I'm like, bro, man, but what they said, who cares? Like, man.
I enjoyed it though.
I would tell him to say what Richard Pryor would say in these situations, but this is a family-friendly podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I mean, he's got a point. I don't know how many people would say it to his face. I mean,
I'm sure a large portion of the people that he's taken pictures with and signed autographs for since that play have had numerous opportunities, and they all said the same thing. Hey, man, I love you, Mendenhall, man. Don't worry about that fumble, bro. You still killed it in that game. Can I get a picture?
Mendenhall, I loved your Steelers
Hey,
career
bro,
in
man,
general.
you're a beast, man. Like, I'm telling you, bro, they don't give you enough credit, bro. Like, without you, man, that season, man, it's not even the same, bro. We love you, man. And it'd be the main ones on Twitter. Boy, I can't believe he costed that game.
Yeah, as they're watching it, all of a sudden, knee-jerk reaction. Oh, Mendenhall sucks.
Exactly, man. Come on now. We know how this goes. We all know how this goes. It doesn't matter what player you are. Because, like, even me, like, oh, man, you're the fan favorite so much. You're so nice. Everybody loves you. Man, I done seen the trolls say something to me on social media, and they think I don't remember them or I don't know what they look like. And then I see them in person. And the first one's, man, I love you, Moats. I love your family, man. You're such a huge asset to the team, man. I just love everything you're doing right now. I'm like, oh, what you were saying when they said, I'm the reason why we lost this game because I missed that tackle, though? That was that one play, right? Out of 60 snaps I played on defense, the one play I missed, oh, that means that was the reason why we lost. Okay, cool. Yeah. Come on, bro. We know how this goes, man. Like I said, man, you cannot allow yourself. But it's not easy because the same way we've had conversations about, man, sometimes people always comment negative things, right?
Right.
It's different. Like, if you're not accustomed to it and haven't understood, like, how to handle it, sometimes it can bother you. But for me, man, I didn't grow into thick skin over time, man. And I'm like, bro, I don't even care what you say. If it's good, great. I'm gonna show you some love back. If you say something negative, I either delete it or I might not even care enough to even put energy towards that. Like, all right, whatever. Next.
Yeah.
So hopefully Mendenhall can, close that chapter in his life in terms of the negative and think about the awesome opportunity that he had in terms of scoring a touchdown in a Super Bowl, playing in the Super Bowl. People play their whole careers and never even get there. I played 9 years. Close like I was AFC Championship game. Like, it's tough. The fact that you actually got to play in that game, man, dress in the game, because there's people that made it to the game. Think about Marquise Pouncey. He made it to the Super Bowl, but he was hurt. He didn't get the chance to play. Dress. So it's like, man, don't let the negative, the naysayers take away that beautiful moment in your life, man, because that's historic, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, I mean, it was a tough hit, but I mean,
he barely even had the ball in his hands.
If I got to defend Ben, though, I'm bringing it up as to why he doesn't have an extra ring.
All I'm saying is, bro, the two guys you trying to put him over, it's not looking good right now. But hey, that's neither here nor there, bro.
In a vacuum, who you taking?
In a vacuum, I'm taking Breeze.
You're drafting a team tomorrow.
I'm taking Breeze.
You would put Ben like three or four, though, right?
That's the conversation we're having. I said, is Brady first, this is Breeze second. And then I said, you can flip a coin in terms of would you rather have Aaron Rodgers or Ben Roethlisberger. For me, I'm leaning Ben. And I said that to you. I said, okay, I want to hear your argument for why you would take him over Aaron Rodgers. But at the end of the day, okay, I can understand that. But I'm not. It's nowhere close. I'm putting him over Breeze. It's not even close to me. But I would put him over Aaron Rodgers just because I felt like people put Aaron Rodgers on that pedestal of he's just the best talent we've seen. And I agree. What he can do with the ball from an arm talent standpoint, without a doubt, is phenomenal. But I feel like if you're as talented as they say you are, and granted, it's a team effort, I still feel like it's been some times where he's dropped some duds. There's been some times where he hasn't lived up to that expectation. He hasn't lived up to all the hype that's around him.
Like, I need a dub.
Right.
Am I taking this guy?
And I don't like to just put it as I need this win, because we already talked about how you use the excuse of, well, the reason why Ben didn't win is because of Mendenhall. 1 minute it's a team thing, next minute it's an individual thing.
Hey,
so
man,
that's why for me,
I gotta pull it all out.
That's why for me, I never get caught up in wins and losses, because I understand the same way you're not gonna put those losses from the 9-6-1 season because you always bring up, well, Boz was missing field goals, right? Boz was missing field goals. That's a team effort. So I'm not gonna count that wins and losses, but I will say with Aaron Rodgers, still been times where I felt that he didn't perform up to the level of his full capabilities. Whereas with Ben, more times than not, even if it's going to get a little ugly, he's still going to find a way to give you that performance that's going to give you a chance. Like, he's going to hold his weight. Regardless of who wins and who loses, who's holding their weight more? To me, I feel like Ben has held his weight a lot more than Aaron Rodgers. But versus Breeze, it's not close. Breeze blows both of them out the water, in my opinion. But I think the only reason why they put Aaron Rodgers up here, obviously he has numbers, but it's the Super Bowl. He had a Super Bowl in this decade. Breeze won his in 2009.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. If Breeze was in 11, he won a Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers won his in 10, there's Breeze on this list. And that's the way I think they viewed it.
Yeah, they did the whole winning argument,
Yeah, but that's the thing. Gets I'm like, 1 minute it's a team sport. People are quick to be, oh, it's a team sport, man. He had this player and that player and that player. But when we talk quarterbacks, oh, who won more? But now when we go down to running backs, receivers, and all these other positions, are we gonna bring up wins and losses? Because they were part of them same teams, were they not? They still had to hold their weight. But we're not gonna bring that up at all. When we talk about AB being on this list, right? One of the greatest receivers of all time. We're not gonna bring up how many wins and losses he had. What's his win-loss percentage? No, it's gonna be strictly raw statistics. But when it comes to quarterbacks, when we pull up raw statistics, everybody, who won more though? Who won more? Who got more wins? Like, which one is it?
You got to pull out what you got to pull out to help your argument,
man. But which one is it? Well, why is it that we count wins, losses for quarterbacks, but the receivers and running backs are on that same field?
It's whatever you want it to be.
The DBs on that same field. Like, what is it?
It's whatever you want it to be. It's all of our own individual lists. So you make your arguments however you want to make them. You move and sway one way. You change it up for this position. You do whatever you got to do, man.
Clearly, when you do whatever you got to do when you're losing.
The art of debate.
When you're losing the debate, just keep trying to move it. All right, that's cool. All right, so we've agreed to disagree on the quarterback position. Running backs, how'd you feel?
Frank Gore, get out of there.
But who would you replace him with, though?
Le'Veon.
Nah.
Why not? Dude.
I looked at Frank Gore through 10 to now, this decade.
That's the longevity argument, though, that I said with Fitz.
Fair enough.
As to why he's on the list.
Enough, but
I'm not down with that.
All I'm saying is this, man. I looked at Frank Gore's numbers. He has some 1,200, some 1,300 yard seasons, bro.
Yeah, from 10 to maybe like 14.
Okay. And then the rest of it was a steady Eddie consistency top 10 performer.
I don't know about top 10.
So what did Le'Veon? Le'Veon did what? He had 3 crazy hot years, right?
Here's what I'm gonna say. So Le'Veon's all-purpose years. This was 6 seasons. I don't know how much you want to hold.
So if you're going all-purpose, you might as well put him as a flex. We're talking running back, right?
I mean, he got the yards still by being a running back. I'm good with that too because I don't think Sproul should be a flex at all.
Okay, so you can put him as a flex.
I'll do that, and then I'll put Zeke Elliott over Frank Gore then.
Same conversation to me, bro.
Dude, I would take Arian Foster, Zeke Elliott, any of those dudes over Frank Gore.
Well, I thought Arian Foster, and then I went and actually looked at the numbers. Frank Gore has the longevity in terms of consistently performing.
Yeah, but in terms of, all right, this was a top 3 running back for a sustained period of time.
For how many years, though? For 2 years?
For 4 or 5 years. I would take...
Because that's the case you could put Jamal Charles up there. I would put Jamal Charles over Le'Veon on this list. If we're talking about, when he was healthy, he had probably 3 years when he was healthy. He's up there. Rushing yards and receiving yards. When healthy. But the problem was he wasn't healthy enough. I was literally comparing him to Frank Gore. I said, man, he had 3 years when he was healthy. It wasn't close. Like, Jamal Charles either lead, like, top 2, top 3 in the league in rushing yards, receiving yards as a running back. Frank Gore would be 5th, 6th. And then after those 3 years, Frank Gore still in the top 10, still in the top 10, still in the top 10. Well, Jamal Charles, ACL. Oh, hot season, injured again. So for me, man, I can't do that.
Dude.
And with Le'Veon, I understand. Okay, what years are you going to say? 16 and 17, right? 16, 17, because he set out 18.
Right.
So those are 2 crazy years that he had. We saw what this year looked like. It was not in that same ballpark.
No.
14, rookie year, wasn't in that same ballpark.
Here's what I'll say, though. In terms of all-purpose years, this was in 6 seasons. 9,246 for Bo. In 10 seasons for Frank Gore, 11,851.
So,
dude, that's it. Over 10 seasons versus 6 seasons, though?
More?
But we just talked about this with Fitzgerald.
Who had more?
I don't care about that, man.
In this decade, who had the better numbers?
I don't care about that. This is the guy I want from this decade, and this is who I'm picking.
All right, fair enough, bro.
Dude, because that's the whole thing with Fitzgerald. Even though Fitzgerald has more of an argument to be on the receiver than Frank Gore with the running back because of longevity.
Okay.
For sure, because Fitzgerald has been more productive over those 10 years versus Frank Gore.
All I'm saying is since 2010, let's see, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5,000-yard rushing season. Then he has 1, 2, 960 seasons. And then he has an 850 season. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, but look at the yards per carry, too. I mean, it's...
Bro, I'm just simply saying.
No.
Frank Gore, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 over 4 yards per carry.
I'm talking about the last few years.
In 18, he had over 4 yards per carry. He had 4.6 yards per carry, 722 rushing yards.
The Colts
in what?
3.7, 3.9, 3.7. But that's where he got his 960,960.
So what are we saying?
I mean, they're not as impressive. He just got a lot of carries. The Colts didn't have any other running backs. Dude, it's just not impressive to me, man.
So 1,000-yard seasons as a running back isn't impressive. So why what did Le'Veon have this year?
At 3.7?
What did Le'Veon have this year?
dude. They didn't
What
have
did
anything.
What did Le'Veon have this year?
He had 3-something on his yards per carry.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then his
How many total rushing yards did he have this year?
I'm not even talking about that year though. I'm
So
talking
what are
about
you
the
saying
Steeler
then?
years more than last year.
So pull up the Steelers. Let's pull them up.
Yes,
Let's pull them up. Let's pull them up.
I think I do have him up. I do. All right, what do you want to know?
I got him right here as well, man.
What do you want to know about him?
So let's see. He has an 800-yard season. Averaged 3.5 on the ground.
13 games.
Okay.
Rookie
14
year.
he balled out. 14 he had 1,300 on the ground.
Still had
4.7.
400 receiving in that rookie year too.
Okay. 15 he had 556 rushing yards. 6 games got hurt. Okay, cool.
6 games, yeah.
16 and 17, 1,200 on the ground both of those years. He had 321 carries in 17 though. You talk about volume, right? 321 carries.
4 yards a carry. And then
Okay, no. So when Frank had 3.9 in 4.0, cut it out, bro.
85 receptions, 655 yards receiving as well.
Okay, we all know, hey, Le'Veon can ball from a receiving standpoint. We know this. But let's see, for Frank Gore, he's had a 452 was his biggest receiving year. Other than that, it's a bunch of hundreds and 200s. But on the ground game, his numbers from a rushing standpoint have been better.
What has he got? He's got 3 Pro Bowls from 2010 to 2019 in 10 seasons. Le'Veon's got 3 in 6 seasons.
Okay.
And 2 All-Pros.
Okay.
So he was the best running back or 2 in the league at that time. So I'm taking Le'Veon, man.
All I'm saying is one has the longevity and the numbers to back it up. One had a flash.
But it goes back to what you're saying with longevity. If there's other players getting in here with 5 or 6 seasons, then I'm taking Bell over Frank Gore.
But this is my thing. You got to make the argument for the receiving standpoint, not a running back standpoint. From a pure running back standpoint, Le'Veon doesn't have the numbers that Frank Gore has. You can make the flex argument when you talk about the receiving yards. Make the flex argument. From a running back standpoint,
well, then I'm taking Zeke over Frank Gore then.
Okay, let's pull up Zeke's numbers then.
It's not even close to Frank Gore, dude. Zeke just blows him out of the water in terms of running backs.
Oh, okay. No.
He does, dude.
All right, bro.
He does. So that's my list. Yeah, I'll move Le'Veon to flex because I wanted Sproles out of the flex anyway. I couldn't figure out how we were going to do that.
Why you don't like Sproles?
Dude, he's overrated, man. He's just like a gadget player, and people will get all hyped about him and stuff.
Really like to hate on these guys today, man.
Dude, Elliott, it's not even close with the rushing.
It's not close with the rushing?
It's not. 1,600, 900 in only 10 games his second year. 1,400.
No, he's balled out without a doubt.
2019, 1,300. And then the touchdowns, 15, 7, 6, and 12.
Then
even throw on top some of the receiving. I know we don't want to completely consider receiving.
From a longevity standpoint, this dude's been doing it every year.
If you want to,
every year for 10.
Listen,
every year for 10.
If you want to use that, then that's fine. That's fine.
Saying, bro.
If you want to use the longevity argument,
I'm saying, bro.
I'll take
Zeke. Not to mention in 2020 he played 11 games.
Come on, dude. You want to talk about me reaching? Come on,
I'm just simply saying, bro.
Come on, man.
I'm just simply saying, man. We're talking for the whole decade, baby.
What's going on here?
I'm talking for the whole decade.
Is it the Bills connection that he's got?
Yeah. In fact,
are you even keeping Frank Gore, or are you just playing devil's advocate?
I'm keeping Frank Gore. I don't have an issue with the running backs, but don't say I like Frank Gore. Actually,
I know because we talked about fantasy.
Like for me, like I've always had an issue with Frank Gore, regardless of his performances on the field. Because my first time getting benched in the NFL was my second year in the league playing San Fran. I didn't fit a run play the right way. Frank Gore split Stu for like a 30-yard gain. And then my coach pulled me out and was like, no, you're not going back. And he was pissed. But we was getting smacked. This is when they had Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick. And ever since that play, bro, I'm like, bro, this one play and Frank Gore, he ain't do nothing crazy. He just like slithered through because he gets all like, and he just like spurts out.
He's not going to wow you.
And it was that, bro. And it made me so hot. So ever since then, I've always had this grudge against Frank, like, and I never got the opportunity to like see him. You know what I mean? Like, it was with the coach was like, all right, he's out there, but it's not the same. Like, I really wanted to like see him. Like, I need this one back. And I've never had the opportunity, so I've always felt some type of way. So trust me, it kills me right now that I'm even making this case for Frank.
Whoa, you were even ripping on him too earlier this season when we were talking about fantasy.
Yeah.
I was like, Frank Gore's like a fantasy sleeper right now because Singletary's hurt. You're like, no, dude, he ain't that. I said, no, if he gets carries,
makes me mad, bro.
I know.
Makes me mad.
Which is I'm surprised why you still have Frank Gore.
Like I said, I wanted to make the argument for Jamal Charles. Like,
you can go ahead.
Okay,
why not?
Because if they're still in the same framework, which when you talk about getting blown out the water, it's hard to say, okay, his Zeke's 1,300 and 1,600 seasons when he's still having multiple 1,200, 1,100, 1,100, 1,200, constantly over 10 years.
Dude,
so for me, I'm like, I don't care.
I don't know though, dude. I think that was only for 4 years, and then after that, it was just like, hold on.
See, you about to go ahead.
No,
It's
5 years. 5 years at over 1,000.
Yeah,
5 years at over 1,000, but not
and
1 year.
They weren't all in the same year though. Don't make it like it was all in the same year.
Not 1 year over 1,250 though. Zeke's got
over
3 of those.
So where you just throw that number out? When did 1,250 become the special number?
I'm just saying Zeke's got 3 years over 1,250.
He's only been in the league 5 years.
Huh? 4.
4.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? This dude has been in the league for how many years? Not even how many
years.
That's
what I mean.
But since 2010 on. Since 2010 on, he's been producing.
Frank Gore's 2010 on hasn't touched anything Zeke's done over the past 4 years.
How you figure?
It just hasn't, dude. I'm just looking at the stats.
All I'm saying is this. You show me what Zeke has done over the next 7 years, 9 years, and then we can talk.
This is the problem with the whole all-decade team.
It's the decade. It's the whole decade.
Yeah,
so for me to take you off the decade team, you had to been insane.
Zeke's been insane.
And where's Frank Gore been?
My point is, if we're going to be doing the whole argument of, all right, it doesn't matter if you're only 5 or 6 years into the decade, so I'll take Zeke.
It doesn't matter, but we're talking for the whole decade. Who's performed better? For the whole decade, Frank Gore has.
I take Zeke, man.
That's cool.
I'd definitely take Zeke.
That's cool, bro.
So you're good with the running backs?
I am, bro.
Adrian Peters. Yeah, I'm good with the running backs outside of Frank Gore. I'm taking him out, putting Zeke in, and then.
So you cool with the Shady McCoy?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Why is that?
Why not?
I'm just saying why.
Are you serious?
I'm just asking.
Dude, he's been a beast.
I'm just looking at his numbers compared to like Zeke's.
What? They're both on my list. What do you mean?
I'm just asking.
What do you mean?
I'm just simply asking a question, bro.
Shady stats over 10 years, the last 10 years, are impressive.
I'm just asking, bro.
Really impressive.
What we looking at?
What do you mean?
He's got a 1,600 to 1,300. He has the
1260. We'll go from 2010 to 17. Those are his prime years.
No. It's decade, right? Would you be you just gonna stop at 17? Why?
Wait, I'm not gonna hold 18 and 19 against him. Why not? Though. If he were to retire,
14 games in 18.
No, if he were
13 games in 19,
it just adds to his stats because if he was gonna retire in 17, you're not gonna hold that against him. Then.
But why did he didn't retire in 17?
Like after 17,
but he didn't.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use. I mean, the majority of my argument is 2010.
You throw in the 460 yards he had and the 515 yards, 514 yards he had.
Those just add to his stats. I'm not.
Hey, all I'm saying is, when we look at Frank Gore,
Shady.
I don't see any of them numbers like that.
Again, he's got 3 years.
Low numbers like that.
Over 1,250. Frank Gore doesn't have 4 years.
Frank has 2 1,200 years.
Mm-hmm.
Frank has what? 2 1,200 yard rushing years. Then he has 2 1,100 yard rushing years. Then he has 1,000. Then he has 2 960s.
Dude, I'm just looking at these stats comparing each other. I just don't see how it's close.
I don't see how it's not close.
Between Shady and
when
Frank
you're talking
Gore?
about the absolute, like this is the difference I think with this argument, right? When we talk
look at
Zeke,
the receiving.
listen.
I know you don't want to use receiving, but the receiving is there too.
Zeke, when we talk Shady McCoy, their best seasons stand out so much more than Frank Gore's best seasons. We can agree on that.
Well, even their bad seasons, they've been hurt. I mean, 895 yards and 840. Shady's only played 12 games.
It's still an excuse.
So those were 1,000-yard years right there.
They
for
weren't,
their
though.
Down years.
They weren't.
They were going to be.
You can't say they were going to be. They weren't. Because he didn't sustain. He got hurt. That's an element of the game, is it not?
I mean,
yes.
Are we doing that? Are we arguing if they're injured or not?
Bro, we just had a podcast about arguing over injuries with Ladarius Green and Dante Moncrief. Of course we're going to argue it right here.
I don't care about that in this argument.
I
don't. I just don't.
Kill me, bro.
Dude, injuries aside, I'm still...
Kill me with that, bro. What?
I don't care about injuries even in this argument, though. If you want to include them, Shady's still more productive. If
we look over the 10 years and we add up the numbers, I guarantee you Frank Gore's numbers are better. And from a rushing standpoint,
no way.
Count them up.
If you're using... Count them up. Why are we just using rushing?
Because he's a running back. If you want to talk receiving and all that stuff, go to the flex. Debate him over Zeke and him over L. Bell at the flex if you want to. We're talking running backs.
Zeke's on the running back.
We're talking running backs.
I'm keeping McCoy, dude. We're not going to add up these stats right now.
I'm telling you, I've done it already. That's why I'm going here with this argument.
Frank Gore and McCoy?
Over the 10 years, Frank Gore has more yards, bro.
Rushing yards?
Yes.
How many touchdowns?
Shady has more touchdowns, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Dude, and the
I'm assuming at least, because Frank Gore didn't have a ton of like crazy touchdown years. 3s, 8s, 8s, 9s, 4, 6, 4, 3, 0, 2.
We want to talk about efficiency, though. What's McCoy's efficiency over those 10 years? Over his career, it's a 4 or 5 yards per attempt.
It's hard to look at. Let's see. Over Frank Gore's career,
Yeah.
4.3. Over 10 years,
yeah,
with San Fran, 4.5.
What?
What?
Yeah, but no, the decade though.
I know. I'm messing with you. I'm just saying because you said over his career, and I was like, I'm not about to try to add it all up.
It's got to be, yeah, exactly. It's got to be around 4 though.
But he has a career average of 4.3.
Yeah, but if we're talking about the decade,
if
we're talking about his career, he has the 1,600 yard year earlier in his career,
and we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Right.
Yeah.
Dude, there's no way. I'm just looking at straight stats here, and it's McCoy.
Bro.
And
it's cool, man.
Outside of stats, you know how I like the eye test.
The eye test, yeah, whatever.
I use the eye test in the quarterback.
And who did more big winning between those two, by the way?
Frank Gore or Shady? Come on, dude, you're just throwing stuff out there now.
Go.
I don't really use the big winning argument for my running backs and receivers. It's not what I like to use.
Okay, gotcha.
Quarterback's different.
That's cool. Okay.
It is, dude. It just is.
So officially, I was fine with the running backs. You said you would take Frank Gore off and put in Zeke or L. Bell. Which one?
Zeke. And then I'm gonna do. Based off your rules here.
I'm just no. Remember, it's your list, right? It's my list. I do what
sure. If I can add Zeke and Bell into my list and throw Bell on the flex, I'll do that. Then. Okay. If you're letting me do that,
all
yeah.
Right, cool. Cool. All right. Wide receivers. I was fine with this list. You said you want to take off Larry.
It's tough. I'm
completely fine with this.
I do want to put AJ Green or Hopkins.
AJ was a snub. They said he was up there on the snub list.
I know because
I feel like Larry and AJ do have similar arguments too because of their quarterback play. Even though I will say that Dalton is still far and away the better quarterback between the guys that
Fitz did have Palmer for a little bit though.
True.
All right. Because I wanted to go Green over Fitz, but then I looked at Hopkins' stats. Mm-hmm. And so Hopkins versus Green, Hopkins was 1 year less, actually, and he has 8,600 yards, 54 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. A.J. Green has 8,900 yards, 63 touchdowns, and he has 1 more year. He has 8 years. 7 Pro Bowls for Green. Hopkins is 4 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pros.
And you trying to take this off of Larry?
Huh?
You said
because Larry
has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 yard seasons.
Look. 10,000 yards over 10 years. So that's 1,000 averaging 1,000 yard a year.
Bro, here you go with
61 touchdowns over 10 years versus, like I said, 63 touchdowns for Green over 8 years, 54 for Hopkins over 7. And then if you do the yard average, 8,600 for 7 with Hopkins, 8,900 for 8 with Green. So it averages better.
Who are you comparing? Are you comparing AJ Green versus Hopkins? I feel like one moment you'll say Hopkins' argument, then you'll say another one for AJ Green. Where Larry's numbers alone.
I'm saying those two. I'm saying those two are over Fitz. I'm trying to decide between Hopkins and Green. I'm gonna go Green over Hopkins. Crap. Are we sure about that?
I'm keeping my list as is. AB, Fitz, Calvin Johnson, Julio.
Oh, man, between Hopkins and Green, this is tough. Can I have another flex?
take Zeke L. Bell off.
No way. I can't do that.
Hopkins?
I gotta do. Man, this is tough. You know what? Do I do Green? Just like the AFC North camaraderie here. Oh man, he does have more touchdowns.
He does.
I will go. You know what? I'm gonna go Hopkins with the 3 All-Pros. I'm gonna go Hopkins.
3 All-Pros, 4-time Pro Bowler.
I'm gonna go Hopkins. Yep. So Hopkins over Fitz. I'll do that.
Okay. And you already said your flex is who?
Bell.
So my flex is Hopkins.
What?
Yeah, it's not close.
Not close. What do you mean?
Close.
It's
Hopkins
not close.
Is crazy dominant, bro. Even though he's only been since 13 when he came in.
I thought flex we were doing like the multi-tool type of player.
When I put flex, I just looked as like an extra offensive wild card type person. I could have put Edelman, like Julian Edelman type person in there. Yeah.
Okay. That's
It's
a good
flex.
pick.
That's why I say like as a flex, it's kind of like
there's no rules on this flex. Then,
flex.
huh?
It could be a tight end, running back, receiver, like that extra person. Even if you want to make the argument, Taysom Hill, like whoever that. I'm not. I'm just saying like in theory, like I was looking at it as like a wild card, extra offensive weapon.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I put Hopkins there.
Okay. So I'll go with Bell.
Because I wasn't going to. I couldn't take Fitz off that list.
Sproles is a joke at the flex. It's ridiculous.
What are the numbers though?
Nowhere close to the two players we put in the flex.
But then we talk about the longevity, and that plays a role for him, though. You don't like the longevity, though.
Dude, it's not even close.
You don't like longevity.
No, he doesn't have anything that's sticking out to you in terms of stats. He just doesn't. Okay. He just doesn't. He's a nice role player. Like, hey, I'd take him on the Steelers right now if he was in his prime.
He does it all, man.
Come on. Dude. All right, so tight end. I'm good with the tight ends.
Let's see, tight ends.
Do you have a disagreement?
Nah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, some people are saying Witten.
I saw Witten, man. I feel like,
dude, Kelsey stats over whatever that 5-6 year stretch was. It's impressive. So if you want to debate the whole longevity with Witten, and Kelsey has been a dominant tight end.
And I was like with Gates and with Gonzalez, they would have been past decade. Then I think like the previous decade, that would have been their thing. I feel like some of those guys.
I'd say Jimmy Graham over those two, though.
Well, it depends on the decade. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like
2010s, yeah, Jimmy Graham's been a beast.
But what I'm saying is this. Like, 2010 was Jimmy Graham's rookie year, right? It was 2010. The other guys, when we talk about Gates and Gonzalez, they're, I think, 04? Was it 3, 4 maybe for those guys?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they're stuck in between these decades. You know what I mean?
Well, they're definitely the thousands. Those
right,
two.
Right.
Those
but
two.
I think like that's kind of like where this argument hurts them a little bit because it's like we're talking from 2010 on.
You were considering. See, I was considering Graham versus Kelsey. That's about it.
Well, no, the only reason why I said Gates and Gonzalez is because they were still relevant during this decade, but their greater years were prior to 2010. And that's the whole thing. So it's like in your mind, you think, oh man, well, this dude's been a beast for so long. But then you look at it, it's like, well, from the decade standpoint, that's a different decade when they were doing that. So you can't bring that into this argument.
Yeah. And
that's what makes it unique.
Okay, so we're good at tight ends.
Yeah, that was fun.
Offensive line, we'll just leave it the same. The one thing I will say, or I looked at though, was DeCastro at guard.
Over who?
Versus who was it? Mankins. But it's tough to make that argument though because
big fella.
Huh?
Maybe
in terms, we're talking decade though, 2010 to 2015. Here's what I will say.
I'll put him over Zach Martin. I ain't banking.
Dude, I mean, all I can go off is Pro Bowls and All Pro. That's all I can go off.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's all I can go off.
I was like, what? Wait a minute, bro.
So they both tied in Pro Bowls. 5-time Pro Bowler for each. DeCastro has one more All Pro, 2-1. The problem is DeCastro played 8 seasons, Mankins 6. So I don't really have that strong of a case here for DeCastro versus Mankins. But that's why I guess I can ask you, does DeCastro deserve the spot over any of the other guys for guard?
For me, man, I would have put him over Zach Martin. I feel like, but the biggest thing is when we're trying to compare offensive linemen, a lot of these guys, the way that you make the argument for them is, okay, well, how many 1,000-yard rusher did they have behind them, or how many sacks did they allow, and things like that. Now, when I look at Zach Martin, I felt like as a whole, he played with the Cowboys offensive line that was a lot better than the Steelers were for over the duration. Whereas we had in Pittsburgh a 2 to 3 year window where it was like, okay, it's a legit argument who's the better offensive line. But I felt like for the long-term part of it, the Cowboys had the better line, which is why I think Zach Martin, when we talk about the Pro Bowls and All Pros and stuff, a lot of that goes with that. If you're part of a dope line, they're going to say, well, man, all these dudes should be getting that. All those guys. And you saw all of them got paid.
And DeCastro early on, our line wasn't like that.
Right, and that's wasn't like my thing. So it's like, even though I personally feel DeCastro's the better player.
Yeah.
When you're going off of the Pro Bowls, All Pros, and just the name recognition, you playing with the Cowboys, when their offensive line, even when they weren't elite, they still were talked about as them being elite.
Yeah.
Whereas even when the Steelers offensive line started becoming good, we're talking 14, 15, right? They still weren't talked about like that.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing with that. So for me personally, I would put DeCastro over Zach Martin. But when you're just looking at just the simple who got the accolades and stuff like that, then obviously it goes in favor of Zach.
So you're sticking with Mankins, Castro, and Yanda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Yanda was a dog.
Anyone else?
He's a boy dog.
Anyone else on the line that you would consider taking out? We got Peters, Smith, Staley, Joe Thomas, Jari Evans.
Nah, man.
Alex Mack
from
and
a tackle
Pouncey.
standpoint, I thought about bringing in Terran Armstrong from the Saints, but he still is not going to be able to stack up versus these guys. Joe Staley was a staple for years. And then Joe Thomas, arguably the best tackle I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, best tackle the game has ever seen. Like, he's that type of player. Like I said, man, for me, I think of Joe the same way when, now I'm drawing a blank on the kid that was in Miami. He got hurt, though. But he was another guy like that.
Long?
Yes. Where it was like, dude, these dudes from what they can do from a big body, moving, nimble, technician standpoint, nastiness, everything you need, they both brought that, but Joe did it for longer. Joe had the Iron Man. I mean, think about Joe, bro. He wasn't missing a snap. That's crazy. A snap.
Too bad the Browns wasted him, huh?
Yeah. But for a while, though, the Browns have one of the top offensive lines in the league. The team itself was bad.
Yeah.
But he was a part of a unit. You didn't think about his unit, right? Joe Thomas, the starting tackle, Mitchell Schwartz, that just won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. They was up there. Alex Mack was a part of that.
Yeah.
Like, they've had, and all at the same time. They've had some dogs on that offensive line. It's just everything else around them was bad.
Yeah, because Alex Mack's on this for center.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Mack and Pouncey.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, shout out to Pouncey. I mean,
absolutely, bro.
What was I reading? 8 Pro Bowls? 5-time All-Pro? Is that right?
Pouncey's he's a Hall of Famer, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he's that type of player.
Yeah.
And this is even with him. Think about how many times he's been hurt.
For sure.
Duke ball.
For sure. So we're not going to hold injuries against him?
Well, no, this is what I'm saying. You can
I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you.
And I just say the difference, though. The reason why, even if you wanted to hold the injuries against him.
Dude, it's there. 8-time Pro Bowl, 5-time All-Pro.
Right.
That's still there, yes.
So it's like, we can talk injuries, we can talk longevity, we can talk just absolute seasons. The difference, and that's why when we make an argument about Frank Gore, I'm saying to you, bro, you're trying to compare 3 seasons of Le'Veon versus 10 seasons of Frank. You see what I mean? Like, even though his 3 seasons were crazy, the 3 that we talked about were crazy.
I'll add the other years, though, for stats purposes.
I understand for stats purposes, but when we're trying to compare year for year, you're talking about his 3 crazy years. Even with Zeke, he had, 3 or 4 like crazy years, 1,600 to 13, right? But it's like, man, when you look at the long, like, every year he's in this conversation.
I think Frank Gore is highly replaceable for 5 to 6 of those years.
That's a debate.
Definitely.
That's a debate.
It's definitely the Colts. The Colts in these recent years.
He had a 1,000-yard season with the Colts. He had 2 900-yard seasons with the Colts.
He was just getting carries. He was getting a lot of carries. They didn't have anyone else.
And he had a 3.9, 3.7, 3.7. What are we talking about here, bro?
He just got
if
a lot of carries.
If it was a 3.1 or 3.2,
I'm just saying, Bell and Zeke aren't replaceable like that.
That's debatable.
It's debatable. Whenever
it's debatable.
I'll use that argument when we're talking about quarterbacks, yes. But you've talked about Le'Veon, dude.
I agree.
I'm deferring to you about Le'Veon's impact there.
Simply saying.
When I want to talk about Ben, yes.
Yeah.
We could put any running back in there. Ben's going to lead the way.
Okay. All right, so.
Defense, your specialty here.
So that was offense. All right, so defense. I'll go first then, since this is defense. This is my side of the ball.
Yes. What are we doing? Just DNs first?
Yeah, DNs first. I had to take Cameron Jordan off. I moved Khalil Mack to DN.
What? I didn't know we were doing these rules, man.
Bro, Khalil Mack has been a defense player. All-Pro first team at DN and linebacker. What are we talking about?
I know. Fine, I'll do that too. I didn't know about these trades we can make.
It's not a trade. I'm just moving him. He's literally the guy that they say 50% of the snaps he plays standing up at linebacker. 50% of the snaps plays with his hand down as a DN.
That opens it up for linebacker then for
Absolutely.
me. Absolutely. All right.
So that's why for me, I put Khalil Mack in there over Cameron Jordan. Calais Campbell has been a boy dog. He's been killing Julius Peppers. Dude, Julius Peppers could come in right now and get 10 sacks. Like, that's
I was looking at that. That was unreal.
He's a freak.
His second to last year, he
crazy.
had 11 sacks.
Crazy. Like, some dudes are just born to sack. Like, literally, he's one of them dudes. He came out of his mother's womb, strip sack doc. That's what he does. Like, that's what it is. It's true.
The doctor had his pen and paper.
Strip sack. That's what he does, man. Like, yeah, so that's Pep for me. I'm cool with that. And J.J. Watt, man, let's be real. J.J. Watt even with the injuries, the type of productivity,
future Steeler,
call it what you want to call it, man. The type of productivity that he's had though during his healthy years are insane.
Yeah.
And then the accolades to back it up. I mean, he's a part of that rare group of back-to-back of them things. You know what I mean? When you go back-to-back, we talking about the defense player of the year was you go back-to-back, that's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
That's definitely special.
Yeah. So for me, I was like, I definitely got him up there, no issue.
All right. I'm good with that. I'm going to make that swap. I think I'll take Calais Campbell out instead of Cameron Jordan, just based off the stats. I know Calais Campbell's just a different type of defensive end than Cameron Jordan, but Cameron Jordan's putting up the better sack numbers if I'm proving right.
From a sack standpoint, Cameron Jordan is the better pass rusher.
Yeah.
But from an impact in the game standpoint, disrupting pass plays, run plays, anything you want to do, Calais is that guy. And Calais can play D-end, D-tackle. Like, you put him anywhere on that defensive line, bro. Like, he's going to manhandle something.
Unfortunately.
He just doesn't fit. Like, you see him on the field, bro. He just looks like he doesn't belong out there. Like, why are you that much bigger than everybody out here? Like, it's crazy.
That stuff's all cool, but unfortunately, he's getting taken off my list. So I'm putting Khalil Mack.
You're a numbers guy, man. You heard what you said. You said he has more sacks.
That's dude.
And that was all. That's the whole thing you could say.
What else am I gonna go off of?
And that's all. I just told you. I said, man, disrupting the run, tackles, QB hits, pressures, all that other stuff. The numbers speak for themselves. That's all I'm saying.
I'll take him off, and Khalil Mack goes into that spot. So defensive tackle then. I think I'm good with this because I looked at some other guys. You have Gerald McCoy.
Yeah, man, you are tripping though, bro.
What?
Taking Calais off? You are tripping.
What do you mean?
Just saying, bro.
I'm taking Cam Jordan.
17 QB hits, 12 QB hits, 21 QB hits, 11 QB hits, 20, 21, 30, 22, 25.
Dude, Cam Jordan's he might have more. 30. Or no, I'm sorry. I can't read. He does have one. Jeez, oh man, dude, I should start wearing my glasses when I'm on here, man. No, he is 23, 20, 24, 28, 21, 25. I'll take that plus the sacks. Dude. I just will. 11 pass defense in 2017.
11 pass defense, you know what that is? He just putting his hand up when he get blocked, man. Blocks on the pass. That's all that is,
it's impressive.
Man.
It's part of the game.
You said he had 11 in what year?
2017.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just looking, man, because he had 11, then he had some 6, 5s, 4s, and 3s.
What's wrong with that?
Let's see. Calais had a 10, ton of 6s, some 2s, some 3s. Oh, he had a 5 over here as well.
Nah, Cam Jordan's got all that too.
Let's see.
Tackles.
Cam Jordan only got 2 picks. Calais got 3.
Come on.
Whoa, no. You brought up pass deflections, right? Since we want to go that route, let's talk about it. Yeah.
Listen,
let's talk about it. Yeah.
Dude. Are we really getting into this right now? Calais versus Cam Jordan.
What are we talking about?
All right,
let's go.
This is like a war right now.
Let's go.
All right, hold on.
Let's go.
In terms of tackle for loss, they are, jeez. We're not going to talk about that.
Jeez, yeah. Because the sack difference is only 7 sacks, right? Cameron Jordan has 87 career sacks. Let's see. We got to take away.
Those are important sacks.
Take away the 7 sacks from Calais that he got at 09. So that put him at 81. So, hey, man.
Those were important sacks.
QB hits. QB hits. So Cam Jordan, let's see. Cam Jordan QB hits, 168. Let's see. With Calais, he had 201, but we got to take away 15. Take away 15.
So it's not that much.
What?
I got the sack difference.
That's it. And it's not even close. It's 7. It's a 7 sack difference. And the rest of these numbers, Calais kills him, bro. What are we talking about?
QB hits by what? 20, 25?
That is a ton. What?
I'll take.
No. You ready?
I'll take him finishing the job with the sack.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
This is funny.
Are you ready for this? Because this was the whole argument with TJ and Bud, right? When Bud looked at his sack numbers compared to TJ, he was like, "Oh man, they're not that far off. They right there together." Difference was TJ Watt had probably 20 more QB hits, and that's the difference because sometimes you can get a sack. We got coverage sacks, right? You know what else is sack,
yeah,
right?
But Cam Jordan's got more sacks.
Wait a minute. You know what else could be a sack? The quarterback is running out of bounds, right? And you're the closest guy to him, so you get the sack. You didn't finish the job. You just over there. That counts as no. Let's talk about it. Let's keep talking about it. Okay.
We're not going back to look at that.
Wait a minute. You know what another? Guess what else is sack? Quarterbacks. Hey man, everybody's around. He just drops to the ground. Oh, I touched him first. That's a sack.
Hold on.
Are we going? So
the
seven. It's only a 7 sack difference for the rest of these numbers, bro.
The thing we forgot to mention though, Cam Jordan has one less year.
No. We talking decade. Remember that, right?
He has one less year though,
so
that's
decade.
something.
Whose numbers are better?
It's something to factor in.
Whose numbers were better in the decade?
It's something to factor in.
Whose numbers were better in the decade, bro?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's something to factor in. Yeah. Well, I'll stay consistent because that's why I took Fitzgerald out for Hopkins and I got Bell going in there too. So I'm staying consistent with that.
Consistently foolish, man.
No way.
Consistently foolish.
I can't believe Cam Jordan versus Calais Campbell.
And Calais got a Walter Payton Man of the Year award. How about that?
Come on,
and he got a Walter Payton Man of the Year award. So he's a good guy as well.
Tossing in the interceptions here too.
Oh, you tossed the pass deflections. You started that?
I thought it meant something.
Yeah. Pass deflections is literally, I got blocked at the line. Let me put my hand up. I batted the pass down. Congratulations. So we're going to do that. All I'm saying is one got 3 picks and one only got 2.
All right, so we got defensive tackling. I'll stick with my my Cam Jordan, one less year, more sacks. Not that much on QB hits. That's probably a season of QB hits.
That is a ton of QB hits.
That's probably a season of QB hits
bro,
to make up for.
20 QB hits?
And that's what Cam Jordan's doing every year.
Bro. He's not doing that every year. We already showed that.
He is. He's 25, not. 21, 28, 24, 20.
He's not, bro.
10 it's one cool. year. I don't know what the hell was going on there. 23 and one QB hit.
Not to mention, Calais Campbell got more forced fumbles too. Yeah.
By how
impact?
much?
By 2. I took away the 2 years before, 09 and 08. I took away those.
He has one extra year though in the decade.
I don't care.
So it's not that big of a difference.
I don't care.
It's not that big of a difference. And Cam Jordan has more sacks.
And you got to think about this too. Cam Jordan's always playing in the league, right? Because he got Drew Brees. So they're always scoring. They're always ahead. So teams always having to come back. So that means teams got to pass more.
Come on, man.
No. It's not a reach. It's not a reach. We talked about that this year, right? We said, man, think about Bud and TJ's numbers.
Drew Brees was down, dude.
Time out.
They lost those 4 years.
Cut it out.
7 and 9.
We said, man, think about Bud and TJ's numbers, and they were playing from either tied or trailing the whole time. So teams weren't even throwing like that.
Come on, dude, you're reaching there.
Calais was playing with the Cardinals. We just talked about with Fitzgerald, right? Who was quarterbacks were during the Cardinals years, right? So that strengthens the argument for Calais because he was on the field having to play defense while we're getting smacked. While they're getting smacked. Not we, because I'm not with them. While they were getting smacked. Yeah.
I don't know what that means for any of this. I think you're just pulling stuff.
No, what it means is this. If
dude,
listen,
this is reaching, man. This is reaching.
How's this a reach? So if you're if you're rushing the passer less, but you have more sacks, or you're down 7 sacks, but you've had to rush a lot less because you've been trailing in games a lot more, that means you're the better pass rusher. You're the more efficient pass rusher. You talk about QBR, right? Talk about pass efficiency and all that stuff, right? That's all that means. So look, if you're going to play 20 plays, I'm going to play 20 plays. Listen, hold on.
What are we talking about? Arizona's years?
Yes. That's what I'm telling you. Arizona years. And then from there, he went to Jacksonville. We saw what Jacksonville, we said it, you said it all the time, right? Jacksonville is just like, the Titans are just like Jacksonville. Just had one hot year. Just one hot year, right? That was what you said. One hot year.
They had a good defense all around, though.
Whatever.
They had a good defense all around.
But they weren't scoring.
Huh?
They weren't scoring enough points on offense. We already know that. And with them being run dominant with Leonard Fournette, that was shortening the game. So that strengthens the argument even more.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Was it not?
Come on, man.
So Blake Bortles was airing it out.
Listen.
So Blake Bortles was airing it out. So Nick Foles is airing it out. So what's the boy name? With the mustache?
I can't believe it.
What's the mustache boy name again? I'm drawing a blank on his name. Gardner Minshew was airing it out this year. That's what we talking about now.
I can't believe you're pulling this rabbit out of your hat here.
How's that a rabbit?
This is just
facts.
This is a Houdini.
These are facts. These are facts. These are facts.
No, I was giving you facts about the stats, man.
And the stats back my argument up. And then when you go even deeper into it, because then you try to say, well, he played one last year. Well, if we're going to move that goalpost, we'll talk about the quality of play, because we know for a fact Drew Brees was scoring points. That's never been a debate. We know for a fact you don't lead the league in passing yards in those losing seasons if you're not moving the ball, if you're not staying on the field. So that means Cam Jordan wasn't even having to do all that. He was chilling. He was good. He was fresh. He get out there, man, rush the pass and give me a sack real quick. Let's go.
Come on, man.
Oh, now it's come on, man.
It
Now
is come on, man.
Now it's come on.
I'm sticking with Cam Jordan.
Yeah, you crazy.
Come on.
You just put Cam in your Big Ben category. I just like the guy, so I was gonna put him up here. Just go with that, bro.
That was a Houdini act by you.
Nah, bro. I just speak the facts to you, man.
Defensive tackle, we got Geno, Atkins, Fletcher Cox,
Geno's a dog.
Aaron Donald, and Sue.
Sue, he's a dog.
I'm good with those.
I flirted with the idea of Gerald McCoy over Geno, but Geno has been more consistent in terms of his numbers throughout. That was my
Wait, why is that? What has he got? Eight or nine Pro Bowls? Geno Atkins?
Mm-hmm.
Why Gerald McCoy over him then?
Because Gerald's like, you talk about the eyeball test, right? Or I just like this guy. I know what Gerald McCoy can do when he's healthy, when he's motivated, when he does all those things. He balls out. That's all I'm saying, bro.
So using the eye test for this
hey,
one.
man, I went with you, right? That's what you saying, right? The eyeball test.
I know. Dude, listen.
Yeah.
Don't knock my strategy if you got to use them.
It's the eyeball test, right? Ooh, yeah. But even with that, man, 6-time Pro Bowl, he had 1 All-Pro. So I was like, man, I looked at that, but the dude could ball. But I didn't move him off the list because I said, man, just from an absolute productivity standpoint per year, which has been my argument the whole time throughout the decade, Geno has been the more productive throughout the decade.
Yeah, I'm good with those 4. You want to move to the linebacker here?
Yeah, let's do it.
See, you did this to me when you swapped Khalil Mack out.
So who you got, man? Or I'll go first. So you got time to think, man. So I kept Chandler Jones, kept Luke Kuechly, Von Miller, obviously the unanimous, he's still up there. Bobby Wagner is good. Patrick Willis is good. But when I moved Khalil, it opened it up for Terrell Suggs.
Who would the 2 be? It'd probably be between him and like Cameron Wake.
Yeah, I thought Cameron Wake, but Terrell Suggs, man, his numbers over this decade, phenomenal. He has 81.5 sacks this decade, bro.
Defensive player of the year.
Yeah, one defensive player of the year, 1 All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler. And that's all, like I said, in this decade. That's
we know Suggs being in the AFC North, playing against him, what he can do. I've like him.
Cameron Wake can ball. He stupid. When he goes, he goes.
I was looking at his stats. I mean, what? Okay, you got DeMarcus Ware and Clay Matthews too.
See, I thought DeMarcus. I was leaning DeMarcus, but then I was like, I just can't do it. Can't do it.
Your boy Navarro Bowman even is in the mix here.
Yeah.
All right, so I gotta. Man, because I was initially good with the linebackers. Let me look real quick.
I mean, Cameron has done some stuff though, bro. Like crazy seasons.
But I definitely like the Khalil Mack trade to the defensive end. I think that bolsters up my team a little bit. All right, so Clay Matthews, dude, he's got an argument. But
he does.
I'm not
dude,
feeling
DeMarcus Ware, 15.5, 19.5, 11.5. Jeez.
So
and he did big win. He got a Super Bowl too. He did some big winning.
So you're thinking Ware over Suggs, 2010 to 16 versus Suggs all decade. That's kind of the thing.
Yeah, man. What your whole debate today has been, well, man, I'd take those 3-4 years over somebody that's done it for 10 years, which I personally think is crazy. But
he retired. I mean, are we going to hold that against him for retiring?
I ain't telling him to retire. That's on him.
Well, Mankins only had 5 years at the guard position, too.
Bro, but who was more dominant? Dude was dominant.
No, I agree. I kept... No, actually, I deferred to you on the guard. What did I say?
You said I'm keeping the guards as is.
No. I said I want to hear about the Castro because I'm thinking about putting him in for Mankins, and then you said you'd put the Castro in
for Martin.
Okay, so I'm just stealing that.
Mankins was nice with the O-line that, for a fact, New England's offensive line, man. Now, granted, they had, was it Matt Light? He was a good tackle. And somebody else I'm drawing a blank on. Might have been Vollmer. But other than that, man, like, Mankins was that guy.
Man, Suggs got the forced fumbles.
Suggs a boy dog, bro.
Not total, though. He just has the 1 year where he was Defensive Player of the Year at 7. You know what? Yeah, I will. Jeez. Yeah, I'll go with DeMarcus Ware. That's fine. Mm-hmm. I'll put him in there.
Cool, man.
What?
I said cool, man, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to go with DeMarcus Ware. What, dude? I mean, he's got the stats. He's got the stats, too. I mean, you even considered it, so that's not
like I said, man, I'm never going to go because DeMarcus Ware was one of my favorite pass rushers growing up because obviously I love the Cowboys growing up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I ain't tripping. I done stole his celebration before. I still celebrate celebration. I don't care.
19.5 sacks in 2011, 15.5 in 2010. So I'll go with those.
I mean, they both done big winning.
Yeah.
Both got rings. Both got hardwares. Difference is one got a depot. Oh, one of them boys got that depot. That's the trump card. That's the big joker. He got the big joker. Hey, man. One has the big joker.
I don't know if it's the trump card.
What? Defensive player of the year? Are you serious right now?
11, 15.5, 19.5, and 11.5 sacks in a 4-year run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Suggs doesn't really have that.
He has the consistency, bro.
He does, but, I mean, he doesn't have the gaudy numbers like that.
So, like I said, man, you're going to take those 3 gaudy numbers, and then when I add up his 3 best seasons, it still isn't a 10-sack difference. It's not nothing crazy like that. So, for me, I'm like, that's not gaudy enough. But when I talk about Suggs, I know he's going to do everything, though, bro. Suggs does everything. So you even said it just like, he got the forced fumbles, he's got this, he's got the hits.
Just the 1 year. Just the 1 year.
He does it all, bro.
7.
He does it all.
Outside of that, it's a bunch of zeros.
He does it all, man.
3 and a 4.
He does it all. Even your pass deflection argument, consistently getting those. Consistently. In fact, anytime we play the Ravens, we would always talk about how, man, for you tackles, man, when it's screen time, you got to be ready to chop and really get your hands on Suggs because he is so smart as a defender. When you lean back, when you go to throw the ball and you haven't touched Suggs instantly knows right now it's a screen player. He instantly knows right now it's a slant or something like that. He's going to get his hands on the ball, man. That's what Suggs does, bro. Cerebral.
Might actually convince me to flip this. I'm looking at this more and more.
Don't do that, bro.
I might.
Don't do that, man. Because then I'm going to think you're a Baltimore lover.
You're funny, dude. That is funny, man.
Don't do that, man.
Nah, I'll stick with Ware.
Good.
I mean, why do you got him then, man?
You said why?
Yeah.
Because I know who's the better player. For the decade. What
are
we talking about,
You're funny, dude.
For the decade? Shit.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So
now the difference was this.
So I can't say Baltimore lover for you?
No, so the difference was this, man. If we were talking about for the career-wise, I'm taking DeMarcus Ware because he has a 20-piece.
I know.
That 20 is freaky.
And 14 and 11.
Absolutely. But all that was in the past decade. We just talking about this decade. But, dude, I love
19 and a half, though? Come on.
That's cool.
And a 15 and a half? I'll take those.
I'm just saying, bro.
I'll take those.
D Ware
That's a tough one.
Freaky.
That's legit a tough one right there between those two.
Absolutely, bro.
All right, I'll go Ware. You go Suggs. What do we got next?
Next, we are at the cornerback position. I was fine with that. Pat P, Darrell Revis, and Richard Sherman. Gosh.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
I was about to say, who you gonna take off and who you gonna put on, man?
No, I'm not.
I can't touch that.
I really wanted to take Weddle off that safety list, though. I think I don't know.
Actually, I tried to.
You can't.
I tried to. I looked at his numbers. I said, boy, you are insane to make that argument, bro. Like,
I tried.
I was trying hard because I am not a Weddle guy.
I'm not either.
I'm not, bro.
We'll keep them, and obviously Barry and Thomas. I'm sticking with those two as well.
Oh, see, that's where we differ.
What?
That's where we differ.
On safety, who are you putting in?
That's where
You're taking Barry out, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Who are you putting in?
My dog, Cam Chancellor, 757. Baby.
Come on, man.
757. More dominant, more feared, longevity, big winning.
Get out of here, man.
Whatever.
No, Eric Berry was just a better safety.
Hey, bro.
You
call it what you want, man.
He's just a better safety.
Hey, man, he had his couple years.
5-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro.
Okay.
I mean.
He had his years.
And he's dealt with a lot. I mean, he had cancer.
See,
he's been hurt.
No. See, I knew, and this is the only thing when I said, if we going to debate Eric Berry, I already know that he had cancer, man. He had this, and then it's the feel-good story.
I'm not doing that.
You just did. You just brought that up.
I'm talking about why he was out.
You just brought it up.
I was talking about why he was out.
You just brought it up.
He's been hurt.
You were going to bring it up.
He's been hurt, man.
And Cam Chancellor's career got cut short because he was hurt. Cam should still be playing right now.
What has he got? He's got four Pro Bowls. That's about it.
Yes, 4 Pro Bowls and a Super Bowl championship. And he lost the Super Bowl that if they just ran the ball, he would have been a 2-time Super Bowl champ. Big winning. Has an interception in a Super Bowl. What are we talking about?
I'm talking about Eric Berry, 3-time All-Pro.
Yeah, I'm talking about Cam Chancellor, who was arguably the most feared safety in the game.
And I don't see that on Cam's resume. I just don't.
Hey, man, you call it what you want. You call it what you want, bro.
He has Earl Thomas as his other safety, so I'm sure that helps him out a bit.
How does that help him out
Richard Sherman as one of his cornerbacks. And
so that means they taking the shots at him the most, and he has to knock people out, and that's what he did. He changed the game, bro. They talked about, man, this dude's like a modern-day Sean Taylor. We've heard that numerous times.
I think he was the third best on that defense.
Hey, bro, if that's your third best player, bro, say shout
out
to your defense.
It's good.
Shout out to your defense.
Eric Berry was the guy, man.
No, Eric Berry had two. Think about the pass rushers that Eric Berry was playing with.
And he's got a good name.
No. The pass rushes that Eric Berry were playing with, Tom Bahali.
He was good.
Justin Houston. Cut it out.
Those were good.
Cut it out. So that tells you right there, the quarterbacks are under duress and they just getting rid of the ball whenever they can. Stop that.
I'm seeing 5-time Pro Bowl. So that's one more than Ken Chance. Okay. 3-time All-Pro. So he's the best of his position.
He what? Okay.
He was. That's what it's telling me.
That tells me one has a better name. That's what it tells me, bro.
He does have a great name.
Yeah, that's all it tells. He even had the song, Eric Berry. All I'm saying is this, though. Cam, the enforcer, 607 tackles.
You know
Eric
what?
Berry, 445
I'm looking at
tackles.
this here. Eric Berry, age 31.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a free agent?
He actually is. He's been on the market.
Come on, man. We got to be looking at him now.
Don't get caught up in the name, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro.
We should be looking at him right now.
Don't get caught up in the names.
Depth?
Don't. For depth. Okay, I thought you were talking about the start. I was like, don't get caught up in the names.
I mean, he might take over.
You get caught up in the names.
Just that natural ability starts to come back to him. If it's there, it's there. I don't think you lose it.
Caught up in a lot of names, bro. That's all I'm saying. Don't get caught up in the names,
that
man.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Do you disagree?
9 forced fumbles versus 4 forced fumbles.
Do you disagree?
What, bring Eric Berry here?
Yeah.
I don't see how that helps right now, man. Because a player like that is not going to want to sit on the bench and be a depth player. That's like asking Earl Thomas to be a depth player. It's not happening.
Would you start him over Edmonds?
I personally wouldn't know.
Okay.
But that's the argument because people, like I said, get caught up in the name and say, Eric Berry, man, I remember he had this season, that season, all pro, this and that. Yeah, man, Edmonds trash. And it's like, bro, we can have this conversation. I don't agree.
Let's see what Edmonds does this year.
I'm fine with him.
I wouldn't be against it for depth purposes, but I get what you're saying. If you have that name, you're not coming. We talked about this with Martavis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, how'd that look? Eric, hey, man, we want you to come in here and back up Terrell Edmonds.
All right, so we doing this DBs then here too?
Oh, okay. So who'd you go with? So who was your final? So you keeping Eric Berry, Waddle on them guys? Okay. And I'm going with Chancellor over Berry. I thought we was about to have that argument when I was already proving to you. So it's all good.
Proving to me what? I
just
see 3 All-Pros. That's what I see.
Hey, man. You could look at a vote, or you could look at the numbers, man.
Huh?
You could look at a vote, look at the numbers, bro.
We could say, I don't want to get into Chiefs offense versus Seattle offense and use your whole Breeze argument.
Hey, cause
it's just reaching, because I know you were reaching. I don't want to do that.
I don't have to reach, bro. I don't have to reach.
All right,
one did big winning, one didn't. That's all I'm saying. That's your argument, right? Big winning. Who does big winning? Big winning. One is a part of some major big winning in terms of being the reason why, because we can all agree. Russell Wilson was not the Russell Wilson that we see now. He was not that during this time.
He was solid.
Solid, yes. But Alex Smith was doing more big winning than he was.
No. Whoa. Wilson, Alex Smith versus Russell Wilson. It's not even close.
During that time frame?
No way.
Cut it out.
Alex Smith, are you talking about with the 49ers?
Bro.
A year or two? Where he had a lucky run? Come on. Come on, dude. It's not even close. Russell Wilson over Alex Smith. At any point in Russell's career.
During the time frame, yes.
Of San Fran versus
all I'm saying is during this time frame, who was the better quarterback during those time frames of Cam's career with him and Eric Berry's career with Alex Smith?
You're talking about the Chiefs.
Yeah, what were you talking about?
Oh, yeah, and it's not even close. I thought you were talking about Alex Smith's 49ers years. His 49er year was better than any of his Chiefs years.
Bro, what?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Hey, man, whatever you say.
You disagree?
Whatever you say. Who was the quarterback for the Chiefs in 18?
Eric Berry's not on the team, man. If he was hurt. He only played like a game. Dude, 2 games.
Still was on the team? Come on. Wasn't on the team?
That's not even a part of my argument.
Wasn't on the team. I'm just simply saying.
You were going
to say who had the better quarterback.
I'm using 2010.
You were going to say who had the better quarterback. I was about to ask a question.
Yeah, but you're pulling in the quarterback that he only played.
I was just going to ask the question. Just talk to me, man.
Dude, you're reaching.
Just talk to me, baby. That's it. Just a question,
Come on, dude.
Just a question.
It's Russell Wilson versus Alex Smith any day of the week.
Man. I ain't tripping, bro.
And you're trying to pull up Mahomes, where Eric Berry only played.
Was he in 18? Yes or no?
3 games over 2 years.
18? Yes or no?
Oh, that was 18 too. I shouldn't even add 17. Yeah.
Was he on the team in 18? Yes or no?
Stop.
Was he?
He only played 2 games.
Didn't they go to the AFC Championship game in 18?
Come on, man.
They did, right?
I don't know why you're bringing this up.
They did, right?
This is
because that's just regular season stats. They did, though, right? I'm just
dude,
asking.
you're starting to sound like me.
Did they?
Did
they? Yes or no? Did they? Yes or no?
Dude, you're starting to sound like me. I don't want you to do that.
Anywho,
I don't want you to do that, man.
Anywho, so DB. Who you got for DB? You go with Chris Harris Jr. and Tyrann Mathieu?
So there's an argument going out there right now.
Okay.
Joe Hayden was upset with this list.
Okay.
So this is what I wanted to ask you then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having trouble with this. I was tossing and turning last night looking at this list
man, you were.
and thinking about who I should be putting at DB because Hayden.
Tough, huh?
I more or less wanted to ask you about this kind of like the Castro thing because I don't.
Yeah. Let's talk about this, man.
I'm not feeling too strong about one way or another.
Uh-huh.
Joe Hayden said he should be in this list, and
man, Joe's a boy dog.
And one of these two would be the ones you would be taking out to put Joe Hayden in.
That's tough.
So he has 3 Pro Bowls over the course of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Did it start in 2010 or 09?
Yes, no, Joe's come on, he's part of my class, baby. 2010. Let's talk about it, baby.
All right,
only the best class ever.
2010. So he's been here the whole decade.
Yep.
3 Pro Bowls. Now, Tyrann Mathieu has 1 Pro Bowl, 2 All-Pro. I don't even know how the hell that happens, to be honest with you.
Well, because we know with the Pro Bowl voting sometimes, like, it's more a popularity contest.
Right.
And one of those All-Pros were the year that he was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. I think that was the year that it would have been, who won it in, what year was it? Jeez. Because he ended up tearing his ACL the year before. So it might have been the 15 season. Was when he was in the running for it. Yeah, the 5 picks. Yeah, 5 picks, 89 tackles. Yeah, that was the year.
Okay. So
17 PBUs, insane.
And Chris Harris, 4-time Pro Bowl.
Chris Harris a dog, and he does big winning. 1 All-Pro, 1 Super Bowl champ, part of the no-fly zone.
Okay.
Undrafted. I like Chris. He's good dude.
Here's my thing. So if you're gonna just go based off Pro Bowls, All Pros, all that whole thing, you would do probably do Joe Hayden and Mathieu out. I'm not saying I'm doing this, but here was my thing as I started to think about it.
You said you're going off of what?
Huh?
You said, hold on, say that again?
I said if you were gonna take one of them out and put Joe Hayden in, you would probably take Mathieu. Just strictly based off Pro Bowls, All Pros, whatever.
No, because Mathieu has 2 All Pros, and All Pros hold way more weight than Pro Bowls.
Listen, dude.
So how do you say that?
I'm not making.
Joe doesn't have any All Pros.
I'm not making a strong argument for it because I'm really not making. I'm talking through this.
Yeah, but you just said that if you were going to make the argument,
so you're taking Chris Harris out,
bro.
1 Pro Bowl, 4.
He has
4 Pro Bowls, 1 All Pro.
Bro, an All Pro season is going to count way more than a Pro Bowl season. Because Pro Bowl is just a popularity vote.
Okay.
It's not the legit, like, football people saying, okay, this guy can ball. Like, that's what we, like, honestly, I think ever since.
Fine, I'll take Chris Harris out if I was going to do this. But then here's what I thought, though. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to put Joe Hayden in, all right, then you have Jalen Ramsey, Marcus Peters, and Aqib Talib. Mm-hmm. Jalen Ramsey has 3 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro, and 4 seasons. Yeah. As opposed to Joe Hayden over the whole decade. And I mean, if I'm gonna be consistent with my whole Zeke Elliott and Hopkins in, and
bro, you tripping on that, man? And
Le'Veon, and then you got Marcus Peters, 3-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All Pro, and 5 seasons. Aqib Talib,
Chris Harris, and Tyrann Mathieu. Pro Bowls, they got the All Pro season, and they got the big win, Super Bowl champs.
Aqib Talib, 5-time Pro Bowl, 1-time All Pro.
Now Talib, I can hear the argument for that, and he has a big win. What? Am I lying?
So you're not switching either one of them?
Not a chance.
Chris Harris or Tyrann Mathieu? You're not?
Nah. And I love Joe, but I just can't, bro. And the thing is, it's hard to make this argument too, because they're 3 different positions.
Well, that's the thing. I wanted to ask you.
One is a slot corner. One is like number 1 corner, and so Joe's the number 1 corner. He plays on the outside. Chris Harris is like your nickel corner, but he's phenomenal at it. And then you got Tyrann Mathieu, who's like your wild card, strong safety, free, like just roamer type thing. So it's like 3 totally different positions. And we're trying to say, okay, well, this guy play, I like that guy over that guy. Like it's a hard thing to really like mix up like that.
Well, that was kind of my question. I just wanted to ask you because obviously Joe Hayden posted it out to his Twitter and social media that, hey, I got snubbed. So you don't think
Joe, my guy. Joe's my guy.
That's why I wanted to ask you because you played with them.
I'm gonna vote for any of my teammates if that's the case. But at the same time, bro, it's like, man, we know, bro. What? Come on, man.
So Chris Harris more of an impact than Jalen Ramsey or Marcus Peters.
And longer. Yes, and longer.
I mean,
yes, and big winning. And not just being on the team, like balling.
We've talked about Jalen Ramsey, though. Isn't he like the guy? Like, that's why the Rams traded for him like that? But you know
why people talk about him, right? It's because he plays on the outside. So it's more glamorous. It's cool.
Who would you take, though, if you're starting a team tomorrow? You would take Harris over Ramsey.
They have two different positions. That's like saying, who would you take, Pouncey over DeCastro? Like, one plays guard, one plays center.
Couldn't Ramsey play the nickel spot, though?
It wouldn't be a strong suit.
Yeah, but Chris Harris can't play the outside then, like Ramsey is.
No, it'd be the same conversation. He could do it. It's not a strong suit, though.
Okay.
Like, the difference this is different. So, when you talk about, like, number one corners, taller, bigger body people because they have to match with the bigger receivers. Bigger receivers can't do the in and out that well down the field, though. That's what they do. Deep passes. That's the guys they're covering. Chris Harris is covering the guys that going in that slot, doing all the crazy stuff, the crazy movements. He's doing all that. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Okay. I like your points, and I'm just going to go with the name.
Hey, man, that's fine, bro.
I'm putting Jalen Ramsey in over Chris Harris.
That's fine.
Bronco fans annoy me. They annoyed me during that whole Super Bowl run.
You're just a hater, bro. You sound so bitter right now.
AB torched them, so
you sound so bitter.
I'm going with that. Although, wait, did AB torch Ramsey in that playoff game? Or was it the other? It was
both.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, it was both.
AB's just that good. AB torched Harris worse. I'll go with that.
Okay.
I want the name. I want Jalen Ramsey in over Chris Harris, and I'm going to stick with Matthew. I like Matthew.
Okay. You're funny.
What?
I just listen to you talk about I'm going to go with this guy because of a name. Like,
dude, what else do I got to go? I'm just being real about it. I don't really.
It's cool. I ain't tripping, man. I guess I'm just letting you not build my roster.
Dude, do you really?
Listen, you will never be my GM. I'm just throwing it out there now, all right?
I'm not the guy to be.
You can't even pick my Madden team, bro. Like,
no,
dude,
my Madden team's stacked.
Holy cow, man!
Team.
I'm good, bro. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't want me breaking down like why I really. Oh, this guy can do this off the block, or he can cut. I don't watch that. So like,
cool,
I'll just
bro.
be making up fluff stuff. I'm giving you why I'm going with these guys.
It is cool, bro. It's cool. That's what we need. It's good conversation.
The funniest thing though is, I mean, how many other fans and people do that? Well, I mean, I'm just being real about it.
You, man. I'm with you. And that's why I take it as my job to educate and inform.
And I like hearing about it. That's why I wanted to ask you about the whole Joe Hayden thing and like,
but no, man,
exactly the other cornerbacks versus
dog, man. Yes.
So yeah, that's my list.
But neither one of them have big winning other than Chris Harris.
Come on.
You said it, man. Hardware, right? Who got the rings?
I mean, I keep believe this too.
And who did Chris have to beat en route to get in that ring?
We didn't have AB. Toussaint fumbled.
Oh, excuse God. The excuse king is back.
We didn't have AB. And Ben was playing with...
Another one. Give me another excuse. Another one.
Dude, his arm was awful.
Stop.
But he still...
Whoa, his arm was awful? You saw the numbers that he had that game.
Exactly. That's my point. That's how good he is. That is how good he is. No AB on the road. Apparently, the Broncos' defense was the best defense in the league. He throws for over 300 yards without AB, without D'Angelo Williams, without Le'Veon Bell. Dude, it's impressive. That's all I'm saying.
Who won?
Fitzgerald, Toussaint fumbled, dude. I don't know.
I said who won.
And Peyton Manning, the whole, was he sacked or not?
I just never said who won.
The Broncos won.
Okay, say no more. All right.
That has nothing to do with Chris Harris, though, man.
That actually was a big part, but okay.
Wait,
Specialist.
Why?
Whatever, bro.
No, why? Why Chris Harris?
So, how many points did we score that game?
If Ben torched him for 300.
How many games did we score that game? How many points
like,
did we
who was he? Was he covering Martavis?
How many points did we score that game?
What was it, like 18 or 20? I don't know.
Not enough.
It wasn't enough. Toussaint didn't fumble. I mean, that was another touchdown right there.
So what happened the drive before that, and the drive before that, and the drive before that? Then it was just guaranteed it was going to be
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
I just remember.
Convenient amnesia.
I remember.
Perfect.
I remember the Toussaint fumble.
Uh-huh.
And I remember the whole Peyton Manning fiasco.
Okay, cool. Any excuse you need, bro. I'm with
And I
you.
remember Ben throwing for 300 yards and
Cool,
Martavis
bro.
going off.
Listen, man, any excuse you need, that's fine, bro.
Not excuses. I'm laying out
It is an
facts,
excuse.
man.
That's a big excuse.
I'm laying out facts.
Big time excuse, but it's okay.
All I want to know was Chris
Hey,
Harris's
bro,
impact.
All I'm saying is it was very impactful. That's all I'm saying, bro. Yeah.
Where were we at then?
So now
Is that
we're
it? Then we
going
go to special
to
teams?
specialists. Yeah, I know you're not gonna have an issue with any of this, so I wasn't even about to break that down with you.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we even want to include these in our list?
I figured you weren't gonna have a debate on that, so I was gonna leave it alone.
Do you want to?
We're not gonna have a debate on that.
I don't have anyone.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'll just leave it alone for you, man.
Do you want to have it on our list when we put it out?
Sure, absolutely. Why not,
I don't want to include these guys though, because I don't have an opinion.
dude? Why? You took Sproles off of flex. Is he fine as a punt returner? Is that okay with you?
I mean, AB at punt return wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay, that's an argument. See,
But I'm not looking into it like that because I'm just not.
that's the move I was making.
Huh?
I was gonna put AB as a returner.
Are you?
Mhm.
Cool.
Dude, when AB was like doing punt return, bro, best in the league. Wasn't even close.
All right, so are you taking out Sproles?
Yeah.
Tyreek
Tyreek Hill is a dog.
Tyreek Hill and AB.
And actually,
Kickers are good.
I'm having Tyreek Hill up here twice for punt return and kick return. I understand Cordell Patterson has a couple of touchdowns. That's fine. But, bro, Tyreek, I didn't care what it was. Kickoff, kick return or punt return. That dude, different.
Yeah, he's
Period.
a beast. All right, kickers are good then.
Yeah, bro. Justin Tucker, come on, bro. It's not even close.
Guskowski.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
And then punters.
Because I thought about Vinatieri, but Vinatieri was still the past decade.
Yeah, and he blew it last year for the Colts. And that was in this decade.
That doesn't matter.
He just
10,
isn't the
11,
same.
12, 13, 14,
But those
15, what?
Those kickers haven't done that though. They've been as good, if not better, as Vinatieri.
Bro, you tripping.
Am I tripping?
You
I
are
don't
tripping.
I don't think I'm tripping here, man.
You're tripping.
Guskowski and Tucker?
All I'm saying is you're tripping.
No way,
You're
man.
tripping.
Versus Vinatieri over
You're
the last decade, like you
tripping.
said.
All I'm saying is, bro, you're tripping.
The Patriots,
All I'm
early
saying is
dynasty.
you're
Yes, obviously you're going with
tripping.
Vinatieri for that 2000s
You're
decade.
Tripping,
Oh, come on, man.
bruh.
No way.
It's cool. It's cool.
Come on.
So check this out, right?
Yeah.
Throughout that time, let's see how many field goals. Where are we at? Close are extra points. So there's a field goals right here. So field goals made and attempted in 2,
I think it's Guskowski and Tucker, dude.
4. This was his worst year, 19, in terms of field goals missed.
Right.
17 for 25. Other than that, man, that boy money.
Right, but then you got to look at the scoring and everything else.
Here you go. Let's hear the scoring and everything else. Come on. Make come on. Extra points, clutch.
I can't read this.
What do you mean?
I don't know how to read this thing, dude.
His field goal make percentage, 92%, 85. He had an off year in 12 was 78%, 87%. Led the league in 14, 96%. Then in 15, 92%.
Guskowski's are better. He's got a lot in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So and then you're just obviously taking Tucker. His XP percentage, 100%. Guskowski, Vinatieri's got a few hundreds too.
Mm-hmm. It's not as I'm just saying it's not as simple as you making it sound, bro. Tucker, yes. Vinatieri has a legit conversation though, bro.
That's fine. But, I mean, I'm taking Guskowski though.
That's
this
cool.
decade. I'm not talking 2000s. I'm talking 2010. So I'll take Guskowski. He's got the hardware, the Pro Bowls and all that.
Uh-huh.
So
well, we already talked about
2-time All-Pro
We
too.
already talked about when you play with a certain player.
Unfortunately, big winning. Unfortunately.
Oh, now it's unfortunately. He's got the big wins. He definitely has that.
Vinatieri was a product of that in the 2000s.
No, actually, he was getting MVPs during that.
Vinatieri?
I'm just saying, like, Vinatieri could ball, bro.
Wait, MVP? Wait,
I'm just saying, like, in general, he could ball. He was still, like, a major contributor. That's what I mean.
In the 2000s?
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
Guskowski was getting carried. He was balling.
Come on, dude.
Are you going to sit here and tell me Brady's first 3 Super Bowls were the same conversation as his last 3?
It's just funny. Dude.
Yeah, bro. Cut it out. Cut it out. One was carrying and one was being carried. It's a difference.
Vinatieri carrying Brady. It's just funny to hear.
Was he not?
Come on, man. I mean,
was he not?
I'll use this argument if I'm talking all time
Was he
QBs
not?
and like knocking Brady down a
Tell me,
bit,
was
but
he
in
not?
general,
Tell me, was he not?
Brady was the guy, dude.
Brady was the guy.
He was.
You crazy?
He
That's
made
all I'm
clutch
saying, bro.
cakes, but come on.
Come on.
You're not doing that without
now
Brady.
It's come on, but if he missed him, then it's man,
You're
that's
not-
on him.
you're not
So you'll
doing that
make the
without Brady.
argument that Mendenhall is the reason why Roethlisberger doesn't have another ring because he fumbled. But if Vinatieri doesn't make those field goals, now it's totally different. Now they count. Now it's an issue.
I don't think that takes away from like Brady's greatness and what he's done because
stop it, man.
he's still getting to that Super Bowl like
Stop
that. You're not doing that with
Stop
LeBron. Him
it.
getting into the finals and not
Stop it.
closing the deal.
1, 2. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Nah, bro.
What?
I'm just looking, bro.
You're
Just
looking and you're
saying,
seeing Gostkowski.
Nah, I'm seeing Vinatieri was balling. I'm seeing Gostkowski was carried.
Come on.
That's what I'm seeing. It's cool, bro.
This is
I ain't
funny.
tripping, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna make the argument for a Patriot if I don't have to.
Come on, man.
I just want you to put some respect when you say it's not close because it is. That's all I'm saying.
When did I say it's not close?
You did.
Well, I did rip on his
You
2019
did, yeah.
year. Yes.
And I'm like, bro, don't let this year get you fooled.
That's part of it, though.
That fairy, man. Get off the fairy dust, man. Don't
It's
let that
part of
fairy
it.
dust get in your eyes,
It's part
man.
of it, man.
Hey, it's got you right now, bro.
So yeah, we got our all-decade teams wrapped up then.
Coaches, you fine with Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll?
Yeah, I was thinking about putting Tomlin in, but I guess Carroll got that ship.
See, I was thinking about putting Andy Reid in.
That, I mean, I could see him too.
Yes, I was like, oh, Andy. Difference is, I felt like Andy Reid has underachieved.
He had those Eagles years.
Yes, and obviously the year when we beat them in the divisional round
Away, yeah.
That was like stuff like that. I was like, and I hate to hold that against him because he's still getting there. He's still getting in position, but sometimes,
and he won.
Right? But sometimes, like with Pete Carroll, for example, because some of those years, once the Legion of Boom faded away and stuff like that, they were still getting in wild card win. You would still see them get that victory. So you were kind of like, man, well, it's still like
gritty wins.
Right, I'm seeing
and
them win.
2 Super Bowl appearances too.
Right. Whereas with Andy Reid, he has in this decade he has the 1 appearance, but he won it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so that's that.
Unless you want to just completely knock Carroll for the whole Lynch debacle.
That was terrible.
And just like say you
It's
don't even deserve to be on the list
absolutely
because
horrible,
of that.
man. Absolutely horrible, bro.
So yeah, I'm good with those 2 coaches as well.
Yeah, so that's that, man. Shout out to all my teammates that have made this list, though, bro. It's a nice list. Just throwing it out there, bro.
What do you mean? What teammates? AB?
Marshawn, AB, Fitz, Chandler Jones, Pouncey. Let me see who was on this list that I got. That I done bled with a little bit. I think that's it.
Did you say
no,
Pouncey?
Pat P. I forgot.
Did you say
Pat
Pouncey?
P. Yeah, I already said him. Yeah, I forgot Pat P. Let's see who else. We got. Yeah, that's it, man.
Did you say Chandler Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Got a nice little list, bro.
That is nice. You got some good teammates.
Nice little squad.
You have to drop your top 5 maybe.
Hey,
at some
maybe,
point.
man. Y'all carry me to some wins. I like it, bro. So yeah, bro. That's that though, man. Feels good.
What time we got here? We got this all-decade team wrapped up. Do we want to go on to our second?
It's an hour and 50 minutes.
We did it again, man. Do we want to save the cornerbacks again, then?
It's up to you, man. How you feeling, bro?
I think we save it.
Drop it on Monday then.
Okay.
All right, look, people. We going to get to this all-decade team. That's coming up the next podcast, all right? We're going to start with it, though,
You mean
next time.
all-legacy team?
All-legacy team, yeah,
Okay.
excuse me. We're going to start with it, though, next time.
Okay.
Because you know how this goes, man. Deke going to spend 20 minutes talking about Ben.
Come on, dude. No,
You was debating Ben over Rodgers and Brady. You're crazy.
I was ready to say
No, you weren't.
Ben is on my list and let's move on.
Bro.
That's what I was ready to do.
No, you can't. You got to justify it, baby.
You coaxed me, and I
You
did.
didn't justify it, baby.
A stat pattern, a guy that you just can't
Stat
get it
pattern,
done.
but then when Ben leads the league in passing attempts, that's fine. Interesting.
It is.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's fine. Yes.
Uh-huh. That's cool. Yeah. So, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. As always, we appreciate y'all watching as well, man. So shout out to all of that, bro. Oh yeah, shout out to the Steelers last night. They got the win in the Corona Madden League, man. Big ups.
Big one.
Yeah, man. That was dope to see them get that. So
Heath, big game.
let's see.
Big Ben technician.
Debo big game.
Yep. 2 sacks.
Yes, bro.
And then Bettis had, dude, I'm telling you, if you're watching the game, you wouldn't have thought Bettis was going to have those finishing stats that he did. Yeah. Because he wasn't like that prolific on the ground game, but he was making like 20 or 30 yard catches. I'm serious, like on wheel routes and stuff. Ben was lobbing them to him. So yeah, it was a big game.
Shout out to the Bus and Heath for carrying your boy.
Come on.
Nah, man. Oh man, it's a good game though, man. So now they have Cincinnati, right?
Cincinnati up next.
Cincinnati's 2-1? Did they win or
they are 1-2? So it was
because
2-0
and the Browns were 2-0.
Yeah, they both lost though. Bengals 1-1, so it's 1-2 versus 1-2 for. I think this is Monday night. Remember when we played the Bengals?
Absolutely, man.
So a big game. I mean, you're gonna see some familiar faces. Ocho Cinco. I think Collinsworth. I don't think his ratings. Husmanzada's on it, but his rating isn't like top.
Who's the quarterback? Kitna?
No, Kitna.
I was just wondering.
Kent Anderson.
Oh,
they have Boomer Esiason second. Who's their running back?
Dalton Rake on that?
He's not even on there. What? He's not on their team. I think they only have those 2 quarterbacks.
Interesting. Okay. Corey Dillon at running back?
Yes, Corey Dillon is their running back.
I didn't know if they want to go with the Icky, man.
He's on there. He's like 3rd or 4th on the depth chart, though.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so you're going to see some little bit of a rivalry there, familiar faces.
I like it.
So I'm looking forward.
Definitely make sure y'all keep tuning into that, man. That's all on the YouTube channel, man. So, yeah, Wednesdays and Sundays, man. That's how we do it over here. So, yeah, bro.
Appreciate everyone for tuning in.
And until next time, baby.
Peace.